That's killed it.
We made the decision to play Thiago. But Klopp doesn't change the system. Since move back left. He don't want to change from the 4-3-3. Back again. Oi, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Jerry James Show with obviously yourself, JJ, Jerry, as you like to call me. What's going on? On your entry, if you could smash the like, make sure to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and obviously leave your comments in obviously below as well. First of all, big up to everyone in the chat. Yeah, big up Phil. What's going on? Rom's in the cut. That's it. Like and subscribe. You heard the main man himself. Do you know what I mean? The unsung hero of Saints LFC TV. So you know how it is. You know how it is. Now we've got something to talk about today. Problematic issues, palavers, all them things there, man. Are we signing anyone? Last week we were talking about a midfielder. Now we're talking about players. Is this it? Is Nunez, Carvalho, Ramsay, is that all we're getting? That's the topic of today, people. That's the topic of today. Ilyas, big up. Ilyas, big up. There's five people already streaming in. We're going to wait for a couple more people to jump in. But I got a special man for you guys. Mr. Fresh Trim himself. Always ready, keeping it steady. Give it up for Roms. What's going on?
Yeah, bro. Again, thank you for having me, bro. Chopping it up on this nice day. Just watching Wimbledon as well. Just, faking off. But no, thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, the day has been nice. Went for a little cycle. Had to run some errands. But the hat's staying on, people. Listen, crazy at the moment. You get me? It's peak. You're showing me up today, Rom. Just showing me up. Let's see what we were saying. Ilyas saying we in trouble. Yeah, listen, we're going to get into all of that. We're just obviously going to wait for some people to come in. You got Shiva's Cosmic Dance saying, show some love, folks, and subscribe. That's it. And Ilyas again, obviously mentioning the skin fade merchant himself.
Big up, Ilyas.
Yeah, man. But obviously, like the title of today is, obviously, I wanted to talk about, I think it's worth discussing, is the whole palaver, the whole LSV transfer kind of like situation, the kind of the high rate of activity at the beginning of the window,
and then it's
tailed off. Where the focus for me has been more on kind of the outgoings more than anything. That's where all the news is coming from. And I mean, I wanted to start off with obviously the first question that we've got down here, and it's obviously, are we going to bring in any more players? Because we've signed Nunez, we've let Mane go, Origi's gone, and technically with Fabio Carvalho coming in, and with Nico Williams looking like he's going to be heading out as well, and Ramsay being his replacement, we're arguably either at the same point, where in my opinion we're actually worse. We're worse off as a squad than last season.
Our squad is thinner, bro. Our squad is thinner. The only thing I can maybe feel they're focusing on is more quality than quantity. But if you're on a title race, you need quality and depth. I feel I'm focusing on quality, bro. But we do normally do our business incognito, and we do that to surprise. But if I'm being honest with you, Jay, this window, I can't see us bringing anyone else in. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I just don't feel we are. And like you and G alluded to in the last window, I don't know. Everyone's always on FSG's back, but it's also Klopp. He's very stubborn, and it's a stingy manager with stingy owners. It's a match made in heaven. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think Klopp challenges them enough. And I feel the players Klopp wants, he's happy to wait until next window. Yeah. And we're here now. We want to compete now, bro. We don't have time to be waiting, because even we can chop up a bit later the Otavio link. I don't know if you've heard about that link as well.
We're going to chop that up. Obviously, that's in the thumbnail, guys. So we definitely chop up Otavio and Asensio as well also. So
he's been a long admirer of him, and we've been linked with him for seasons now. But I feel like we're in a situation now where I don't just want to panic buy or just buy someone for the sake of it. And that's where I do agree with Klopp. But we are in a situation where even if you can't get the man you want, still get a man of quality that will help us in our title charge. That's the way I think and fits into our system. So we need to bring in a player. If I'm being honest now, I could be wrong, but I don't think we will, Jerry. I think we may need to strap in. It could be a bumpy ride this year,
Yeah, I mean, it is a worrying thing. And I mean, I'm speaking to you, but I'm also speaking to the people. So I'm going to look into the camera this time.
Yeah.
We might be in for a long winter. And it's just reiterating what you're saying, Roms. When's the last time we brought more than 3 players in a window? 3 players. When have we done that on the clock? Ever?
You could argue his first season in Mane, Matip. Who did Ronaldo come in that summer 16 as well?
Yeah, he did Ronaldo, but that's
I think, and even that did we stop there? I think that's the only one I can think of off the top.
Obviously, we signed Grujic as well.
Yeah,
we signed Grujic, but you have to remember that wasn't the first team player.
Yeah, he was more to feed it. You can even argue Matip at the time wasn't straight into the first team.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Whether injuries or not, so yeah.
It was only Ronaldo and Mane that summer he thought, straight away they're going into the first team. You're actually right. I don't think we rarely sign 3 or more players to go straight in the first team or at least compete for first team play. For me, it's worrying if we settle on Ramsay, Carvalho and Nunez. It's worrying for me, man.
Yeah, I think. I mean, look, on the spin side, I'm going to obviously highlight what Demo just popped up here.
Big up Demo, man.
Big up Demo in the chat as well. Obviously, he's saying our squad is fine even if we don't get anyone else. Big up them Diaz, Ibu, Carvalho, Nunez, and Ramsey. We are fine. Now, obviously, some people could allude to the fact that we have Jones, we've got Elliott, we've got Carvalho coming in, we've got some academy players, obviously, that might get more game time. But on the flip side of that argument, first of all, we're challenging, but not challenging to get into top 4. We're not challenging, with the likes of Chelsea and Arsenal, Man United. We're challenging to dominate.
Exactly.
To dominate. We're not challenging to try to win. We want to dominate. It's not a case of we're trying to win 1 league or 1 champs or that type of thing. That's the first point. Second point of it is, where's the evidence that Klopp is going to play these players? Because Demo, you're talking about, and I spoke about it before, obviously tongue in cheek, but Taki was available. He didn't play any games. Who's to say that Jones is going to get, 10 more games this season? Who's to say Elliott's going to get more games, or these players? If these players get more games, then you can see the club have decided, all right, cool, we believe in these players. And whether we agree with them or not, it's like a transfer situation. It's all right, well, they're putting trust in these players. They're getting 35 games in the season. They're starting 5 games on a bounce. But there's no evidence to suggest they're going to do that. We all know that. Do you know what I mean? Push comes to shove. First game of the season, it's going to be Hendo, Thiago, and Fab. Obviously, albeit they're fit. What's your thoughts on that, Rums, man?
You know what? Just to allude to Demo's comment, I would actually agree with that had Nunez been more proven and Carvalho been a bit more older and a bit more experienced, because I'm one of Carvalho's biggest fans, Jerry. Like, I honestly believe he's the truth, but I look at Arsenal's situation. You can't rely on a young player from the start to the end of the season. And our situation's even more pressure that they're just trying to get into top 4. We're actually trying to win the league. So if Carvalho had been a 24, 25, more experienced, he is a goal-scoring midfielder, in my opinion. I think he's going to excel on toss, but I do feel Klopp's going to deploy him more on the wing, because I would love to see him in that midfield 3 or even a 4-2-3-1 in the 10. Will Klopp do that? If we know our manager well, I'm not too sure. But another thing I want to allude to as well, I don't like speaking about them a lot, but City have now gone and signed, it's probably going to go through the Phillips deal. I don't know if you're a fan of Phillips, Jerry, but I am. And we know they can't play them 2 in that team. But when Rodri needs a rest now, Phillips is going to go straight in, and that drop off in class it's not major. So they're almost, because let's be honest, Jerry, in selling Mane and signing Nunez, I pray Nunez is going to be a success, but it's not guaranteed he will. But in selling Mane and gaining Nunez, we have weakened. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have weakened, and the fact that we sold Saki's on his way out, sold Mane, Nico looks like he's on his way out. I'm reading Nat Phillips, who I would keep, is on his way out as well. Our squad's getting thinner, and you could argue has got weaker. It can be worrying times, and I don't want to panic because we are still fairly early in the window. Like the window shuts, I think, the 1st of September. But Jerry, man, I'm worried. I'm being honest with you, bro. I'm worried.
Listen, this is the agenda I'm running. I'm running to the end of the season. Until I see anything, listen, it's going to be a long winter. It's going to be a long winter because until I see anything else, I'm tired of this. Do you know what I mean? This kind of false pretense that we're all right and stuff. Because, of course, we're good in terms of we're going to challenge. We're going to do all right this season. Do you know what I mean? We're not going to capitulate. We're not going to end up 4th or 5th. Of course not.
Exactly.
But we're going to dominate. That's my narrative. Can we get in a position where we dominate for 2, 3, 4 years? Can we do it back to back? Can we go and cement this great team that we called, you know what I mean, in history? Because at the moment it's not. But this is the narrative that on every show, no matter what topic we're talking about, it's been the same thing. The same themes keep arising. Let me just run through the comments quickly before obviously we chop up some more stuff. So see Dima saying that Klopp doesn't use a squad when he has it anyway. Exactly. To be fair, you got to big up Andros Townsend, man, local man as well. He maybe he's having a dig at Klopp, but I don't know if you saw Roms, but he went and obviously got at Klopp a bit in regards to obviously the 5 subs.
Like he's finally got what he wants. I see it on top. Yeah.
Obviously a bit salty, but you can understand from a team that's got less funds, that hasn't got that same amount of quality, that has to rely on youth players to fill up the bench and fill up the squad. They're not going to be able to compete with a team that's, we're going to fling 5 on, 5 off, like a 5-a-side. That's going to be that's half of the team. That's a lot of changes to go and have. And to be fair, he made a point. Klopp's not going to go and make 5 changes in a tight-knit game against Man City.
And this is exactly what he's because the next excuse will be like the fixture list is too congested. Even when Klopp makes the excuse, City have had an extra day's rest or 2. We always get the earliest game from the international break. That you've actually got 5 subs now. We love Klopp, and I don't want people to think I'm surrounding him, but I don't really want to hear his moaning next season because he's been calling for this, and his wish has come true. There's not much I disagreed with what Andros Townsend said, you know. There's not much I disagree with.
From a Liverpool perspective, it's going to rub you up the wrong way because he's talking about
Of course, because he's speaking about
But he has a point. If we were in that situation, if we were top, do you know what I mean? Look how we are with the FFP situation with City. If we were competing with them, if we had Newcastle's owners, we wouldn't be saying too much about FFP. I'm telling you now. I'm going to be honest. We wouldn't. Rob, you're laughing, but it's true.
It's true. You know what? Yeah, I wouldn't think I'd say it on this one because even like when we get at the Chelseas, the Cities, and Newcastle, let's be honest, Jerry. It's only because we're a bit jealous.
Yeah, we want that. We want it. We want the peas. Do you know what I mean? We want the rollie on the wrist, but we haven't got it.
Exactly.
It's still good. Don't get twisted. But you always want to achieve more, and I hear it. That's why it's a competition at the end of the day, man. It's a competition. All right, big up the main man himself, Jamrock, 1975. What's going on? Jamrock saying, look, Carvalho will start off playing up front and then eventually be phased into a midfield role. Yeah. No, I hear it. And do it is from a development perspective, I do understand it because it's not as intense, it's not as pressure. Do you know what I mean? You're not in as much pressure. You saw it with ESR on the left and stuff. But go on, Roms. I think you're going to say
1975 Jamrock. I agree. No, I agree that should happen. But knowing Klopp, he might be a bit stubborn in making that happen because we all know Carvalho has the qualities to phase in that midfield role, but Klopp can be very stubborn sometimes. He can know that and still not deploy him and keep us same midfield. And that's what I'm worried what could happen. But I agree with you. That's what should happen. Will it happen? We have to wait and see.
Yeah, so someone like Carvalho, I see him as more of an attacking midfielder, which I think he is. I think making him into a kind of number 8, Like, that's going to take a while. You even saw it at City with Bernardo Silva. They started him on the wing and obviously phased him
exactly.
But look at the experience he had on him. We weren't getting this 18-year-old or 19-year-old.
And that's the key thing.
They got a 24-year-old that had games under his belt, pressurized games in the Champions League. They got, essentially, it was a ready-made product. Yeah, he wasn't at the level that he is now, of course, but he was a quality player nonetheless. If you were getting in a Bernardo Silva, I could see that option. But for me, Carvalho, he might go and play as a winger for the next 3 years. We're talking about next season. How often is he going to play in the midfield next season? What, him and Elliot are going to have to rotate? Then he's not going to play Elliot and Carvalho in midfield.
No way. For that you're asking for us to get annihilated, man.
No way, man.
You know what annoyed me, Jay? Kind of off topic, yeah. You know that Marnie picture that the club released when the buying deal was agreed and everything was just ×1. That annoyed me, you know. Like, you should be looking at that thinking, oh, he won a lot. He won one of everything. It annoyed me, bro. Like, I was saying this to my boy the other day. I don't want to be telling my kids in that 10, 15 years time, yeah, we had a great team, you know. Yeah, so Dad, how many Champions Leagues and Prems did you win? Oh, yeah, with that team, we're just one of each. They're going to be looking outside. Shouldn't they have won more?
Yes, in AFC Wimbledon settings, you know, you start talking about just cult heroes. It'll be like, we had Henderson, Vinnie Jones, and no. We can't be having that. We can't be having that. Well, all right, listen, big up G, man. Big up G. Listen, I make sure to check out G as well on TikTok, obviously on the Klopp Zone as well, because his takes are impressive. And also to announce as well, so obviously the Jerry James Show World, G is going to be joining us as a regular feature on the tactics board. And obviously that's, if you haven't checked that out, make sure to check out that video. That's obviously where we discuss everything to do with tactics. So we'll be talking about games, past games, current games, just everything surrounding tactics. And we did a segment on Buvac. So that was actually a quite interesting topic. What
a stream that was. That was too insightful. And I've deep to you and G sing from the same hymn sheet. So it's just the connection. Wicked.
Listen, there's going to be a couple of times when we're not going to be singing from the same hymn sheet. So you got to be ready, man. Yeah, Jigga in the comments. Yeah. Their squad is definitely weaker going into this season. No way it could be seen as better than the last. Exactly. And then obviously Jamrock saying here, hold on, there we go. There's pure comments. They big up the chat. There's 12 people.
Big up everyone.
We're on 12 likes now. Listen, massive. Listen, before I even do anything, I'm going to go on to Jamrock. Before I do anything, big up everyone in the chat, because the amount of subscribers, the amount of views we've got in the matter of what, it's only been 11 days, people. 11 days. It's been, listen, the love has been immense from everyone. So obviously, big up to Roms, big up to everyone in the chat, G, everyone that's chipped in and stuff. But big up, man.
Come on, man. You know what our community's like. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. 1975 saying, look, Klopp told us back in March that players will be moved on because some players feel like they don't get enough playing time. Listen, if we're bigging up Klopp for being able to motivate the likes of Origi and Minamino, you got to get the same players in. I don't mind if the players get moved on, but you have to replace them. You see it with City. Ferran Torres goes, that's fine, you can go, but we're going to be best bet. We're going to get someone in. They had signed up Julian Alvarez from before. They had already things in place to make sure that the squad overall wasn't as thin.
Just to add to that comment, what Jamrock said, yeah, it's not even just replacing them. It's kind of, because you know what, this is testament to like a Minamino, Origi, knowing that you're not going to play all the time and still having that good attitude, because not only have to replace the players, you have to kind of replace their personnel. You have to bring in players that have similar personnel, because let's be real, when our starting 11, it won't change much, especially what we want to compete for. So you need to bring in players that kind of have that positive attitude, knowing they won't play as much as well. You know, Klopp he does have a job on his hand. He's got a job on his hands, man.
Yeah, listen, everyone does, isn't it? Julian Ward started off, I mean? He's going to take over what Michael Edwards is doing all of a sudden. Do you know what I mean? He's getting them Minamino deals, installment settings, and
we could have got more for that.
Listen, the fact that it's 15 mil over 5 years, you can even do 5 mil a year. You could even agree that. That's
exactly.
Poor, That's poor. Exactly. Big up Mohammed, man. Big up. Liverpool model now is to stop gaps. That's why Ox and Naby are going to stay. Listen, on that, that's a great segue. So big up Mohammed, man. Big up. I haven't seen you in the chat before, so big up, man. Appreciate you joining us.
Big up G segment on Ox earlier as well.
Yeah, definitely gonna go and view that. Listen, there's 14 people in the chat. I want like 14 likes. Well, how many likes are we on, people? How many likes? We'll go and check that. So if someone in the chat could obviously drop that to us, that would be good. That'd be good. But yeah, cool. Great segue by Mohammed. Naby, Ox. So obviously reports have come out that Ox is staying. He's settled obviously in the Northwest with obviously his newborn baby. He's getting engaged to obviously the little mixed girl. So big up, congratulations to them. On another note though, it looked like the majority of the Liverpool fan base wanted him gone. Wanted him to free up some space in the kind of rotation, getting, a Bellingham or whoever. It's seeming as though he's staying. Naby, we're offering him a contract. I don't know what to think about it. I really don't know what to think about it because
for me, it's simple, but because of the way we're run, it's not. I want them gone, but if you essentially sell them to, oh my God, our midfield it just looks depleted then. I want them gone, but because we don't have ready-made replacements, they kind of have to stay. And the things with Ox, I would love to have an Ox. I'll be happy if Ox staying if we got an Ox from 17-18, but we're in 2022. We've not seen that Ox. So it's crazy. I want them gone, but we actually can't sell them because we're moving a bit reactive and we're not moving proactive in our approach to signings. They can't really go because in my opinion, I wouldn't say we're thin. Quality-wise, I wouldn't say we're thin in forward areas, but in terms of quantity-wise, we are in losing Origi and Minamino. So if you now sell two midfielders, we're left with Hendo, Fabinho, and Thiago, an injury-prone Thiago. Henderson's only going to pick up more injuries due to his age. A Milner, which, let's be real, none of us really want to see this season. That's a Jones and Elliott, which I can't see both of them staying. I feel like we may loan one of them. Our midfield, we wouldn't have that much depth. So it's like, I want to sell them, but can we, Jerry? What's your thoughts on that? Because
look, you stumped me there because Liverpool, like we just discussed earlier, they're never going to go and bring in a wholesaler changes. They're never going to get 7 signings, 5 signings in this season. All first teamers that are going to come in. In a basketball NBA setting. What's scary to me though is that means we're relying again. We're competing. We're trying to win a league again with Naby and Ox in the rotation that unfortunately you can't rely on, whether it's because of quality or injuries or whatever your perspective is. He doesn't trust Elliott and Jones. Fabio Carvalho was signed, but he's not a big money signing. So he might not even... Do you know what I mean? We're all thinking Carvalho might come in and he might play. He's going to come in, he's going to go into the first team, he's going to be on the rotation. Who's to say he does that? What if it takes him a year? What if this is just his settling in season and we don't see him?
The thing is, I don't think it will be, but I 100% agree with you. I'm not psychic. I don't know that it won't be. Do you know what I mean?
We don't know until he plays. Because I'm saying you don't know until he plays. He's still young. They might look at him and be like, "Raw, you know what? He needs more development. We need to slap him. We need to slap him." We saw it with Nico Williams. You come into the team, what happens? You don't really work out that well. Cool. And what happens? And what happens if Carvalho goes to the under-20s in the under-23s, chopping up with Kay Gordon and that?
And do you know what's actually so crazy, Jerry, that you just alluded to? The two guys that are staying, which the majority of our fan base don't agree with, in Ox and Naby, literally what you said, they are both injury prone, bro. They are both injury prone. We just need to pray. This is stressing me out, bro. He needs to just pray.
Listen, Naby and Ox. Look, Ox staying, I don't mind. If we've got funds, let's say we've just got funds and we don't need the funds. We don't need the funds from Ox to go and get another player. I don't mind on Ox staying because his contract is still there. Do you get it? And Naby also. The problem is that Naby's going to want to go and play. And Naby wants to challenge a Hendo, which we're talking about phasing Henderson out. If we're phasing Henderson out, that means what? Jones, Elliott, or Keita are going to be the ones playing more games. You can slap Milner into that rotation, but we can't have Milner playing 30 games again this season. It's just, we can't.
Do you know the only hope I have, Jerry? And I pray this happens and he just has a great pre-season. Them first 3 games at the start of last season, the Leeds, Norwich, and Chelsea, obviously got injured in the Leeds game. If we can get back that Elliott, because I don't know about you, Jerry, but for his age, he looked like he'd been playing in our team for 2-3 years. He was bossing it. If we can get that Elliott back, I'm not saying it solves our problem, but it makes them look a bit more acceptable, if you know what I mean.
No, 100%, and I agree. And I feel like Elliott he gave us a different dimension in the midfield compared to what we had on the right with obviously Henderson. Henderson's quite, one that he works hard, gives it overlapping runs. And obviously having Elliott in that right-hand channel gave you something different because he can cut inside. He was more likely to shoot. He's a bit more creative, and it was good to have him there. But going back to your point, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka, Arsenal. They start the season off great. What happens? They go missing for 5 games. And you can't pin it on Elliott for him not to go. He might go missing. We've seen
He's young.
it.
Yeah. You can't rely.
And you might get that version, but what happens when you don't get that version?
And you know what's crazy, Jerry, as well? We can't afford for Elliott to be having them 5-6 games because look who we're competing with.
That's my point. Banging the money. If we're challenging for top 4, we're not having this discussion. It's not a target on Klopp, on the whole team as such. What we're talking about is, can we dominate? And I think, you know what? I feel that's the mantra. That's the mantra for next season. Domination. If I'm not feeling domination in games, if I'm not feeling domination in the transfer market, possession, goals, if that's my target. It has to be, because we've done everything else. What's the point? I don't want to challenge. I don't want to do it for fun. It's not goals. It's not a goals session or a power league session or a little futsal session with your friends. I said, do you know what I mean? We have to establish ourselves. Let me go through the comments because there's 17 people in obviously watching, probably in the chat. It's crazy. Big up everyone. Lindy's saying, I'm afraid Klopp's going to bin off domestic cuts. Listen, on the cup situation, that's the only way I see us even. Listen, I've spoken about, people have heard me on Coppish. I've spoken my mind. The 5-year agenda that I'm running. I don't see. Listen, at this rate, I don't see us winning a Prem or USCL in the next until Klopp's here. We might win one in 5 years, but if you look at what we've done previously to now, it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
One of each, and like we said, the champs is a lottery. Champions League, you don't win all the time. You can be won it on luck, but the Prem, you won one in 5 years. So,
do you know what? Yeah, judging off, big up yourself, Phil. But judging off Phil's word, I'm afraid he probably wants to battle on all 4 fronts. You know, as a fan, you want to win as much as you can. But Phil, I'm not going to lie to you, brother. This is why this is very catch-22, because I don't mind if we get knocked out early in both the cup domestic competitions. I want to focus on the Prem and Champions League, especially the Prem. However, this is where there's like a conflict of interest, because if we do get knocked out early, when does it give the younger players time to develop and play? It's actually a headache.
But this is my point, is that you're saying you don't want to compete. For me, I want to compete because, again, domination. Yeah. I want to dominate. If City are doing it, I guarantee you City are going to go all out in that Carabao Cup. Yeah, just because it's their local cup, it's their local thing, innit?
Basically, theirs. Before this season, they won it like 4 times on the bounce. That's crazy.
They have their main thing, which is the league. Their main thing, they're always after. They have, their off days where she goes off and he doesn't know what she's doing, then she comes back the next year. That's the Prem. But the side thing they've always got there was the Carabao. Right. Always there. City and their goal, they've had a beef. Dead it. I'm going to the Carabao. No matter what.
She's always there. Yeah, my main thing's pissing me off, but you're there.
That brother down the road went and took your side thing.
No, you need to come.
And then you're just dealing with your side thing now. You can't have it now. You can't have it. And we're seeing it with the transfers, man. We're seeing it. Jamrock saying, as far as weakened, Nico didn't play for us last year. Minamino and Origo only played the cup games, and it wouldn't surprise me if Nunez bags 25 goals. Listen, I agree.
I hear this as well.
I know people are against Nunez. I'm a Nunez in. Like, I'm all for Nunez. I'm loving him up. I think it changes our style 100%. But what happens if he gets injured? We're relying on Bobby. Not gonna lie to you.
That's my boy, but I've even had to accept that ship sailed now, man. That ship sailed.
Cut. Listen, the show's over. Listen, I'm sorry. It's good to have off the bench. He cannot be a starter because it just goes back to what we're doing. It's easy to play against. It's not even about his ability. It's just the same thing over and over again. You keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. It can't be. Who else is our rotation? What, we're going to play Diaz down the middle? Maybe give Henderson a run there as a target man? Who? God knows, bro. At this rate, God knows. Like,
literally,
I don't know, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Nico going his way, but we got Ramsay in. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Nico, not too bothered. Like, I just hope he will do well. He's been playing wicked over the past 12, 18 months for Wales and Fulham. But we've got Ramsay now. I'm not too far. We've got a backup. You know what I mean? Nico can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but 100% with in regards to Nunez, 100%. Like, I think you're gonna get goals. Like, to me, I don't think you understand. I wouldn't mind having a Drogba-esque type player, and what I mean by that is a player that just bags in the big games. Bags in the big games. When you're playing against City, he's gonna get you that 1-0 win. It's not going to be a boring draw. It might be a 4-3, but he gets the winner. But
you know what? Yeah, we started to have a player like cool. I wouldn't say big games, but Jota kind of does, because this is what a lot of fans are saying. Rival fans, what's the difference between him and Jota more? But for me, Nunez is that slightly more versatile. We know what happens when we play Jota on the flank. For me, I actually feel let's say Nunez had to play on the flanks, which we don't want to see him. I reckon he'll do a better job because he can play off that left. You know what I mean?
We don't think Jota's good on the left.
No. I don't know if you know me and what's agendas, but I don't. It's not that I don't rate him that much, but I only like him down the middle, bro. Because you know what sold me a dream? That Everton game. You know, we went Goodison and he rinsed his man and put it that top bin. I didn't think he had it in him, but then the games I've seen after, I said, I don't.
But think about it. If obviously he's not that type of winger that's gonna go and just like he's not a Diaz. Do you get it? He's not a Mane, but that out to in run, that's what that inverted run is excellent. Like that and give space for Robbo to overlap. I think he does it better than Diaz.
Because even the goals at the Emirates, and when Trent, it's that telepathic. Trent knows when he's going to do that, and that's sometimes when he's even playing in the middle, he'll still make it from wide.
So that's what I'm saying. So the out to in runs, I think Jota does well there. I think it depends what you want from your winger.
Yeah,
me personally, I don't know if Jota's quite good in the middle, because when we try to play this false, I think you've seen it. I think that's why Mane's even played there, because when he plays in the center, the ball comes to him, it doesn't stick as well because he probably wants it to feet and he wants to pin his man, but he's used to pinning the fullback. He's pinning the centre back. The centre back's pushing him all over the place. His touch is then poor. He's losing the ball, and then you're looking at him like, why can't you hold up the ball like Bobby? And you're looking, why can't you do that?
I heave. This is why it's very techie, because I heave, and then I've just seen him hugging the touchline, getting the ball, and not doing, like you said, off the ball when he's out wide, he's effective. But when he has the ball, nah, it's not for me, Jerry, man. Not for me. I've seen him just break down too many plays. I've nearly smashed my TV, bro. And that's when he's out wide and he's got time and he's had ball to feet. But I was going to ask you quickly before you go through the comments. What do you see Jota's role next season? Do you think he'll play a lot? Because I think we can get to a situation next summer, Jerry, where he might be upset about his game time. I can see it.
Listen, I don't... Look, who was Jota's... Jota was brought in. Look, the club always think kind of in the future. So the way I break it down is, when we brought Jota, and I don't know it myself, but maybe the comments might know, so we'll chop it up. When we brought Jota in, I thought he was going to be the future replacement for Mane. Bobby started being dead, so he started playing down the centre, and Mane was down the left. Yeah? That was obviously the season before. Now he's on the left, but he's down the centre, but we've brought in Nunez, and we've got Diaz in.
I know.
Was Jota Firmino's replacement? Is he Salah's replacement?
You're not really sure whose replacement he is.
Is he Salah's replacement? Is Diaz going to do a Mane and shift to the right during pre-season? We saw it with Mane when Salah came in. Mane was on the right, he moved to the left.
Yeah.
You might see. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw Diaz on the right. Reason being is because Diaz hugs the touch line. You know, I'll speak about on the tactics board with G as well, but Diaz hugs the touch line. That right flank, he's not going to make that run inside. He's going to try to beat his man in the outside and deliver balls in or get to the byline and then drive in that way. And that space is going to allow Trent to put the balls in.
And you know what? Let's be honest as well. This will improve, but Diaz's shooting is not the greatest. So him even being on that left cutting in, it's not going to make much. He may actually, you've made a very good point. He may actually be more effective on the right.
Yeah, you know where it's just like my main, like a nanny back in the day where I'm just skinning my man. I'm skinning my man. I'm one-on-one and I'm eating you up one-on-one. And I'm just going to keep coming at you one-on-one. Like
he's at Chelsea 04 to 06, the Damien Duff, the Robin. That, like, if you put it in like a boxing analogy, he just kind of like puts his fist up, like, come at me. He's that type of winger. Like, I'm going to take you on. He's not really a modern day winger, to be fair. But I can hear that, you know. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, maybe that's the role because I don't. Who was Jota brought in to replace? That's what I'm trying to think.
You make a very good point.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
This is super interesting because
I think Jota was just more depth and quality rolled in one.
40 mil though.
Yeah.
It weren't like a 10 mil buy that we've done. When it's like, yeah, all right, Minamino was that.
I'm trying to think. Did we sell any big attacker in the in summer 19?
No. Of course not.
When did we sell? I'm not saying he was their replacements, but when did we sell Brewster and Solanke? One of them were in that window, weren't they?
Brewster.
I'm not saying he's a Brewster replacement at all.
No, man. I was looking at you a bit like
that's what I was saying at all. I was just thinking of attackers we sold.
Listen, big up Brewster from the Manor, from the end as well, man. From South.
Yeah, big up Brewster.
Yeah, it's just not worked out, innit? Man's in court. Let's not speak about that too much, innit?
Yeah, him and McBurney, man.
Oh man, G saying, yeah, Klopp's excuse and they're getting boring, bro. We love you, but please just shush and manage. Yeah, facts. This is the channel, innit? This is what we're talking about. Listen, we love Klopp, but we're gonna criticize when criticism's needed. If you don't like it, chop it up. 100%. Yeah, shit. Klopp barely used 3 subs last year. Exactly. This is what I was trying to say. He barely did. So this is just, why is he doing this? I don't know. He's like that brother. You know that brother that talks about, like, you know that girl that's like, oh, I want all these bags. Roms. I want that Birkin. I want it. But she gets it and then she doesn't use it anymore. But it's just there.
He doesn't even use it. Like, it's there.
It's like the squad thing. He wants a big squad. He's going to get the players. He's not going to use them. Shiva saying, if there's one thing the current Klopp hates more than 3 at the back is 4-2-3-1. No way we are playing with a pure 10, my brothers. Listen, I think he prefers a 4-2-3-1. I think I spoke about in the Buvac conundrum segment on the tactics board. He's played with 10s his whole career, apart from Liverpool. So that's something he'll probably revert to. 3 at the back, I think, is the one that he hates. I think he will die. He'd rather play himself at right back. I think he'd rather play himself at right back. Manager team. If Trent was injured and Carvalho Ramsay wasn't available, I think before playing that 3 at the back, he'd get them papers signed over to the player manager available. Because you see his picture is change in
change word. That
you know when you go on the Instagram private, you got the highlights. You just see Klopp there, but you'll be like, why is he mad youthful? No, they just edited it to make him look young. You'll probably get like a Mohican or something.
They'll just change it up, their Photoshop and that. But just to that comment, at 43-1, like I said, it would I would love to see that, but I agree with you. It's crazy because he's played like Jerry said, he's played that his whole career apart from Liverpool. But I would like to see that. But if I'm being honest, we're gonna go into the season with the same 4-3-3. I can just see it.
Yeah, man. Listen, cool, man. Hey Jerry, actually FSG bought Liverpool on the premise that UEFA would enforce FFP. That was the main reason why they bought LFC because they were hesitant. Yeah, 100%. I actually know about that. They actually bought Liverpool on the basis that there would be FFP and it helped with that FFP kind of enforces a similar type of American model that you see in the NBA and the NFL, where essentially there's a cap somewhere in it, where like monetarily, like financially, whether it's the wages or the salary. So 100%, but it's not being enforced, in it. So now you got to check, you got to adapt. I agree. But listen, maybe the Super League's what we need, innit, to be dominant. Maybe it is.
You see what they do to golf.
No, but maybe it is. Maybe we need an NBA type of structure where there's no relegation and there's just draw. And maybe that's what it is. And maybe them will be dominant because of the way we move. Do you get it? Yeah. We see what happens with the Golden State. Big up them, man. Anyway, John, I big up John, man. I listen.
Big up, John.
When we finish up streaming, the intro that he's dropped for the channel is crazy. It's crazy. So that's going to be, obviously, we're going to drop that in today as well. So big up, John. Obviously saying Liverpool with the J. Cole drip while City and them dripping like Migos Survivor Foreign.
You're killing me. I said we're doing the humble, no jewels, and City just have the VVS and everything.
Listen, if I pulled off my hat, I'd be looking like J. Cole, man. That's like he's looking bummy. Anyway, man. Look, Mohammed saying what's going to be Jota's role next season. Listen,
that's what I was thinking. That's how to bring it up.
Listen, I don't know if you guys are from the. I mean, it might be you. Mohammed might be you, man. Might be your alter ego. I don't know what's going on, man. But yeah, that's what was reported will happen. We spoke about that. G saying that's scary to even hear, to be honest, and speak volumes for why we are the way we are. Exactly that. Jamrock again saying, yeah, Man City are going to do the same thing with Foden, is what's being reported for Foden next year. Listen, I'm not going to lie.
In relation to?
I think it's playing him in midfield.
And that's when I think it's scary days, because look how well he's been doing out wide.
Yeah, but I think Foden's a different. I think the way, look, in terms of ability, Foden's obviously that special, because to break into any midfield as a youngster, to play in midfield, make your debut, you got to be solid. Like even Morton, do you know what I mean? Morton at Liverpool, to be his age and to break and to play in the Liverpool midfield, even though we've got our issues, you have to be a baller, because you're not playing out wide where you can, like Kay Gordon, you've got to be supremely good. Even if you don't make it at Liverpool, you have to be supremely good. But with Foden, I think he's just different. I think you just gotta accept it, man. Accept it. He's then saying, obviously, also the disrespect that Jota receives when we talk about how we are gonna fall apart because Mane left is downright ridiculous. Yeah. Oh, listen. Big up to Mane, though, man. Big up to Mane, man. Roms and JJ on the show. Come on, just what my easy needed after a long day. Look, we appreciate.
Big up yourself, G, as well, man. That's how I feel when I see you two trophy out, bro. It's wicked.
Yeah, man. Listen, big up to you guys. Listen, the comments have been brazy. You know, look, we're gonna have to chop up some of it. We're gonna go back to the comments. We're gonna go back to the comments. But the thing I wanted to speak about as well is, do you feel that there's a shift from kind of incoming transfers to outgoings? Are we that model that we spoke about? Are we only focused on, do you know what I mean, outgoings now, and do you know what I mean, recouping what we got and all that type of thing?
Let me actually say one thing on that. For like right now, yes, I think we're trying to make back what we spend. You know how we move. I hate net spend. I know some Liverpool fans love it. They love discussing it. I don't really care about it, as long as we get successful or not. But for like now, we're focusing on outgoings. You know, one thing I will say, Jerry, though, if we do have an incoming, I do feel it'll be later on in the window, but why that could be detrimental to the player himself. You know how Klopp's pre-seasons are. Players in the past saying how they were vomiting and whatnot. I feel like it's key, especially to get a midfielder in early. But back to your question, I do feel we're going to focus on the outgoing. I think, obviously, Minamino is basically wrapped up. I don't want, as much as he's probably thinking to himself, well, I think Nat Phillips is, 24, 25. He's probably thinking, when am I going to play? There's something about him, Jerry. I don't want him leaving, but apparently Bournemouth have offered 14 mil, but we're trying to. I respect Ward in that sense. He's trying to rise it to 20. He's basically saying to them, look what he did in the season where we were depleted we were injury riddled. But I feel like he'll leave as well. Obviously, Nico Taki's on his way out. I just see on Twitter now that Origi's in Milan now. That will be confirmed, if not tonight, tomorrow. So I feel like we're focusing on outgoings. That even though I think we loaned him, we sold him to Union Berlin. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Adam Winnie.
Iwini, yeah.
He's gone to Forest. Yeah, I think we're going to focus on the outgoings more, and I feel like we're trying to recoup some money before potentially signing another player, which again I feel we won't do. But yeah, I feel like the priority is outgoings.
But let's say you spoke about obviously recouping some money before we potentially sign someone, yeah. So let's say things are rosy and obviously the LFC transfer. Do I mean hub, the center, the Pentagon? They like to call that, yeah. And now we're recouping money, but we're trying to go and sign Bellingham, yeah. How do we go and convince Bellingham to come? Because we're gonna have to put down 100 mil minimum. It's reported that's 100 million for him. And on top of that, he's going to want to be one of the highest. Highest earners at the club, being the highest, obviously, wage bracket at the age of what, 22, 21. How do you do that? How do you compete with a city that's going to be like, actually, we're going to give you double that in wages and we're going to pay that 100 mil? If you don't get him now, how can you wait till next season to recoup some money or till January? How do you do that?
And this is the problem, because like I keep alluding to, we have the money, especially this year, Jerry, that we made the most in this country, that we do have the money. Even before even selling players, we have the money. Obviously, Klopp and FSG don't really feel they need to reinvest it in the team as of now. But to answer your question, you're right, because not even just the City, a Real Madrid, a PSG, clubs that know they can just get you, that can just attract you, will come in offering double, if not triple. And back to your point about Dortmund, they actually shocked me because I couldn't see them selling their two biggest players in the same window. But they've actually come out and said, look, we will sell Bellingham, but this is the price. And if you don't meet that, it's bad. But to like you said, to actually pay 100 M's, then to offer him, he'll probably want 200k minimum. And that's now, that will probably be on par with Salah, if not a bit more. So you're right. I can't, because let's go through the figures. Minamino's sold for 13, rising to 15 M's. I think Nico will be 20 M's. Nat, we're holding out for 20. Trying to think any other outgoings. Obviously, Origos are free. Are we going to recoup that much? If them three all go through, that's what, between 50 and 60 million.
But what I'm hearing is all we're looking at is sell-on clauses. Awini's gone. We're getting 10% of that fee. Look, that's a mil. We can put that in the piggy bank. This person's gone. We can put that in the piggy bank.
Did we sell Grujic?
Yeah. I think that came into play this season. If I'm correct, correct me if I'm wrong. That's what I'm saying. Is this focus on outgoings? It just suggests to me that although we've achieved commercial success and we're richer essentially than we've ever been as a club, we're still on this sell to buy model. Now, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not opposed to it unless if we dominate. If we can dominate in that fashion, if you can go and get me players that look. If Liverpool went and got me, let's say they said, no, we don't want Bellingham, but they got me, great segue, Otavio, yeah? You're getting Otavio.
Can I just stop you down on what you said, yeah? I agree with you. You're not opposed to it if it means domination, but why I really feel you kind of have to be opposed to it, because whether we like it or not, especially our club, the modern day game is just about money, bro. And this is why I understand, especially if you're a Scouser, that it hurts, because even the city of Liverpool, quite depleted, quite run down, is still developing. Like, other than Anfield in the city centre, it's quite, do you know what I mean? It needs a lot of renovation. And Bill Shankly installed that into the club, a club for the working class, all that. So there's even some fans that will, we were saying earlier, that's what we want, the riches and whatnot. There's actually, I would say majority of Liverpool fans are actually against that because of the values and the history of our club.
Yeah.
But just what you're saying, I'm like you. I'm opposed to it if it means domination. If I'm seeing a Prem every other year or a Champions League, this model's great. But we're not, bro. So that's why I feel you kind of have to be opposed. And it's sad, but we have to go down that route of, because like I was saying earlier, we're the commercial success and whatnot, we're the richest we've ever been. And I feel we have to. It's sad, but I now feel we have to. It's hard to because they're state-owned city and whatnot. But we have to, even if we don't match them, try and match the cities, the Real Madrid and PSG. But when you deep it, it's near enough impossible.
Yeah. It is impossible, and I hear it. And to be fair, I was talking to some people obviously online in regards to can we compete with a city that's got so much money, and do you know what I mean? And Real Madrid have got so much pulling power. Yeah, but that's why we have to. I think we can, but we've got to compete in a creative way, and I don't think we're doing that at the moment. I'm not saying go and get Bellingham. I'm not even screaming that. I hear the links. That's why I'm talking about him. But if I was told, oh yeah, we can't get Bellingham because we can't afford him, I'd be like, oh, bummer, cool. But get me someone else in.
That's
like,
what
go and get Tielemans. Go and get Tielemans and make it work. The club's done it before. I don't have. It's not like I don't have faith in the club in terms of signings. I'm looking. It's just thin. But go on.
Sorry to cut you, bro. You know what's frustrating me? Even what you just said. Them three names: Otavio, Tielemans, and Asensio. Right? You know, all of their release clauses are relatively what we buy for players anyway. Asensio is 35 million. And I think that's 35 million euros. So I think British sterling, that would be about 28. I'd read that Otavio's is 40 million euros. Again, that's about 32 million what we would pay. And then Tielemans, I'm hearing Leicester will accept 30. And he's Premier League proven, a goal-scoring midfielder. So it's not even like we're asking for a midfield that's going to cost us loads. This is within the region what we pay anyway. We pay the 36s, the 38s for the Manes, the Salahs. Anyway, this is what we pay for players. So for me, it's just astonishing that we're not even going in for. And this is where I might be being a bit greedy, Jerry. But I would get one of those and still then try and explore how we can get Bellingham because they are cheap. This is what we do. That them three players are affordable.
Yeah, and. Listen, that's a great segue. That's a great segue because obviously we're linked with obviously a couple of these players. So before we hop onto that, I'm just going to run through some of the comments because I big up everyone because there's still 17 of you tuning in. Crazy numbers for a channel this size. So you guys are the real. Listen,
everyone, man.
Appreciate everyone.
Speaking of the devil, how can someone have Brewster in there?
If that's Brewster, listen. If that's Brewster, no, I'm saying if that's Brewster, if that's his account, yeah, and he's just hiding away. Sui Jr., yeah, cool. People always say Milner is just there to be an emergency sub, but the thing is, Milner is high on Klopp's hierarchy list. Whenever we are 1-0 down or up, he picks Milner and even starts him in big games. Facts. This is, it's uber kind of. I rely on these players, these core players, and they're going to go and play. And I think it goes back to what we've spoken about. And look, Jamrock's alluding to it here now as well. He's saying, did you see what Minamino said about his playing time? We never had this issue in regards to playing time when our squad was small. When our squad was small and we knew what our starting lineup was, we had no one on the bench and we just relied on our first team to do the damage, everything was great. Everything was great. You had no issues of, oh, this person's upset, he's not getting games, and because there was enough to go around. There was just enough to go around to the point where even when we were really, really successful getting to the Club World Cup, we had to send our kids in for a Carabao Cup game against Aston Villa. And there was the whole commotion around that. Now we're going in, the squad's increasing. This is where, for me anyway, Klopp's management skills have to get put into question because Pep Guardiola's got a massive squad. And I know that they've got the money side to them, which obviously money helps appease the players. But they're content with, not playing every game. They're content. Now we're seeing Minamino frustrated. The one time our squad's a bit bigger than it ever is in terms of numbers, the next season, Origi leaves. Our youth players now are wanting to leave, wanting to go out loan. They leave, and you have your Dixon Bonners, whether he's good enough or not. But seasons prior to that, he would have stayed around because he'd have been like, yeah, I would have got some games. He knows he's not going to get any games anymore. Do you know what I mean? So it's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough. But we're gonna chop all that up in a bit. Let me run through the comments because Jesus, man. Big up everyone. Big up Sean in the cut, man. Listen, he's my breaking news, man. Any news, listen, hit him up on Insta because any Liverpool news, he comes to me live and direct before anyone.
Big up Shawnee. I think he's DM me before he comes with the stats and whatnot. No, yeah, big up Shawnee. I remember.
Big up Shawnee. He's a real one. If we did sign Tchouaméni, would we have still signed Nunez? If so, surely we're still in for a midfielder, right? If not, it doesn't make sense waiting for Jude, as it could be costly also. 100%, 100%. If we can't listen. I can't believe that our club has said we wanted Tchouaméni. If we can't get Tchouaméni, then I don't want a midfielder. I don't want it then. That's some spoiled behavior. We have to.
What? That's just contradictory, because the fact you knew you wanted a midfielder, but you couldn't get your man, now to say you don't want a midfielder, but you still know we need to address that area, it's just very...
Yeah, it's ironic as well that we go and talk about... Yeah, I mean, we want Tchouaméni and there's all these links with him. There's no talk of Naby signing an extension. There's no talk of Oxlade-Chamberlain staying. It's actually that he's going. As soon as Tchouaméni becomes off the list, now the rumours and the rumour mill starts spinning, and now it's like, oh no, actually Oxlade-Chamberlain's going to stay and Naby Keita is going to get a deal and he's going to extend his contract. And I don't get it. It is proper contradictory, man. Attacking Origi while showing him and Solskjaer. John, you can't listen.
Big up so much, yeah. You know why he hits the nail on the head? Because they both delivered trophies. They both had iconic goals that delivered us.
But I mean, you can't listen. Look, we hate the ops, yeah. But Sheringham was a baller. Yeah. You can't say Minamino Sheringham. You can't, man. Oh man, it's 10 on 10, 11 likes. Oh, that's the likes. Big up everyone. Phoenix, big up. Jamrock saying, let's see, look, G, why are we offering him a new deal? That's in response to Naby, innit? That's in response to Naby. It's mad. Anyway, Jamrock saying, Jerry, did you read about that Mohammed chat wrong? I think he was saying that they will not buy any stopgaps, which is why, yeah, but that's what I agree, that they're not buying any stopgaps. But then, so are we sacking off this season then? Because I'm talking about domination. I'm talking about winning the Prem next season.
That just shows me we're happy to plateau. We're just happy to stay where we are. Because, listen, if nothing changes, it's just going to... We will get the second place. We probably will get even 90-plus points again and not win the league. I don't want that again. We might get one of the domestic cups, but no. We can't...
And John, facts. Yeah. Do you know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, for the people watching on the next stream, I'm gonna get. You guys probably remember it when that Vince McMahon video when he's running into the ring, yeah, and he pulls both of his quads and he's lying there helpless. That's what I view Naby as. The Ox and Naby. Anytime Ox and Naby are mentioned in this chat, yeah, that's what's gonna play. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell we're relying on Ox and Naby as our midfield 4th and 5th option. Oh my!
You know, I'll be so happy if Ox if it was the 70 to 80 knots when he was banging in goals. But he's not,
innit? But he's not.
And that's what I say to people when people be like, "Oh, but Ox, he still has that potential." I said, "You're living 5 years ago. Like, what have you seen since then?" I know injuries are unfortunate, but you just have to accept things for what they are.
100%, man. 100%. Quick one. We're gonna move on. I'll run through some of the comments, so we're gonna obviously move to the next bit. Now, are we too sentimental? So we're talking
wait. As a club or fan base?
As a fan base, as a club, as everyone.
Cool. People like me, you, G, Monts, no. But as a fan base in general, and as well, but as fan base in general, I'll say 70% yes, bro. Yes. 100%. I've been arguing with Liverpool fans because they're saying you can't forget the 90-plus points and this and that. I said, what do we have to show for it? Like, I'm fed up of being second place. And then they think you're not a Liverpool supporter. Like, oh, you're not supporting the team. I just want the best for my team. Like, don't you kind of see where I'm coming from when I'm complaining? Because I want to be the best. We can't claim we have the best keeper, centre-back, right-back, CDM, and not have enough accolades to show for it. It is... I don't understand when people try and argue that we can't just be happy all the time and happy-go-lucky if we don't have things to show for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And like how I think as a fan base, and I think as a club, we're reliant on the kind of on these programs and these player development profiles, and we're looking and we're like, oh look, Naby, we signed Naby, we've got to make him good, we've got to play him, he's got to come good. And we look at, I mean, even like a Jones, yeah. And now I know bare people are anti-Jones, innit? There's an anti-Jones agenda. People aren't rating him. They're saying he's meaty. Saint, I'm going to get at you for that because obviously I'm a big Jones admirer. So me saying beef about it. But I think it's techie. But it's true. If the club don't rate him, either get him on loan. If you're not going to play him as a first teamer, either get him on loan or shot him.
Yeah.
Or shot him. Because he's taken up place in the position. You're going to bring in a Bellingham who's the same age group as him, who's going to go into a first team. Where's he going to play? How's he going to become a starter?
So true. It is so true.
Why is Naby not gone? We saw it with City done it. When Bravo was dead that first season, they changed him. Hart was dead, they changed him. City had Danilo, they changed him.
Do you know what's crazy, Jerry? Yeah, I'm seeing some fans still say, oh, Jones is young, he's still got time to develop. But I'm not buying into that because, cool, I know we're at a different stage to the Arsenals, the City. Hopefully you can get to the same kind of stage. But if you look at the Fodens, the Sanchos, the Sakas, they're all in his age range. Like, you can't really be using that excuse. And I know different teams hard. Our team's probably the hardest to get into, Bar City in the top 6, but him himself is going to be looking at his mates out. 1 minute, they play a lot. Surely I can be elsewhere and play a lot. Even though so as a footballer, you'll know, Jerry, you do want the best for your career, and sometimes sentiment will have to be shifted to the side. Yes, he's a Liverpool fan. Yes, he's a Scouser, but if he feels his career can progress elsewhere, he might himself want to go. Might start knocking on the door.
No, but that's my point, is that why has he not? Like, well, this is what I'm trying to say. We've signed Carvalho now, who's younger than him.
Yeah.
How? Why is he still in the club? Why have we not shot him? Why is Adrian still here? And I hear your point, and I hear. Hold on, because someone did mention it. Edward, big up Edward in the chat. So big up Edward saying that if you think football is like FIFA and Football Manager, then sell Milner, Hendo, etc. Because in those worlds, character, mentality, and setting standards often off the pitch don't matter. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about selling them. I'm not talking about. What I'm saying is you need to be moved on. There has to be a transition. You have to get players to go and replace them. It's not. I'm not. Yeah, these things aren't easily replaceable. But that's not my job. My job isn't to go and source these players.
It's what me and you have chopped up before. For me, the reason why Jones hasn't excelled, and I don't really have a problem with it because we have got success with the free workman type of midfield. But like me and you've alluded to before, Jerry. When you're silky and creative, I think I put it in the stream with you and G said, you can't come into Liverpool's midfield free because your qualities will just get nullified. You've seen it, what's happened to the Genies. The last time it actually banged is, remember that 6-month spell when Coutinho was behind Firmino, Mane and Salah and we were causing havoc. We were putting 6 and 7s past teams at ease. But now, for me, Jones's best position is that 10, which we don't play. If you give him that license to be flary, he will. But that's not a Klopp midfield. So for me, the reason why it's not happening, he's not excelled, is due to Klopp's system. Not saying I've got a problem with it because we've seen success, but that's just the black and white. For me, he's not excelled here because he's not really playing to his. Klopp's not allowing him to play to his strengths. You see what I mean? And again, his opening goal against Everton in that FA Cup. When I saw that, I thought, "Raw, we've got to play here." I kind of already knew of him because even in Gerrard's system, but you know, youth football and first team football is different. But I was thinking, cool, for him to carry on repeating that type of form, he's now going to have to play in that. Because if I remember even rightly, that game against Everton, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, I don't even think we even played a 4-3-3. I think we actually played with a 10. So it allowed Jones to excel. But for me, to answer your question, that's why I feel he hasn't excelled, bro, because
and you got to big up Demo with that saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Demo. That's literally what I'm saying now.
Yeah, he's played DM. He's played DM in our system.
Because I know, big up Demo, because I know Demo flags Jones flag high, as I do. But the reason why literally what you said and what I just said, the reason why he's not doing well is because of Klopp's system. Yeah. But then you can't then say, oh, Klopp's system's bad or not, because we've seen success from it.
Yeah, that's what then you got to get rid of him. That's
yeah.
You got to get rid of him then because, look, I want Jones to play. I think Jones. If we're not signing any midfielder, I want Jones to be that. If we're going to sack off this season anyway, we might as well just go and play. All right, Jones, you're the starter. You're starting next season, innit? You've been here long enough. You've been here 3 seasons now as a solid member of the first team. Do your thing now. Do your thing now. Remember, 4 seasons ago he broke in.
Damn, he did.
This is going to be the 4th season. This is going to be the 4th season.
There's me thinking 1 or 2. Damn, it was, innit?
Mad, innit? Mad when you think about it. It's mad. So either he plays and he plays week in, week out, and we just go and give him the license, like we did with Trent when Klein was injured and we were only challenging for top 4. Or we sack him off and you get a player that's going to go and do that.
Because you know what I was then saying for Jones? I've said it in other streams that even if we don't sell him, loan him to a team that kind of play an attacking outfit, that maybe a Villa or a Brighton. But then I deeped it. Loaning him for us to just hopefully strengthening us midfield, for him to then come back, it probably makes it even harder for him to get back. So you're actually right. It's sad, and I don't want us to, but you actually have to then just let him go.
Yeah, and things, and I would hate it, but this is what I don't understand. But this is what I don't understand, because you have to get rid of a player like Milner, so you have space for that person, because you know Milner's going to be the fourth choice, 5th choice after Ox, and you can alternate Naby, Ox, and everyone like that. So it's crazy. It's crazy. All right, quick one. Let me just run through some of these comments as well, because then I got a mad comparison. So listen, we got some stats to bring up in it, and we're gonna chop that up, which is crazy. And you guys probably in the thumbnail have seen the brother and thought, why is he there? But there's a reason why. Jeez, man, the comments are flying. Jesus. Demo saying Jones will bang this season. Yeah, I think so as well.
Same.
Yeah. Tony saying we had more ambition going for top 4 than we do now, trying to beat City to a 4th title. Listen.
There's no lies told. There's actually no lies told.
5 and 6, man. It'll be 5 and 6 if they win next season.
And to make it worse, just to rub salt in the rooms. A free
P. They'll be doing this.
Even Chelsea hadn't done that in their glory days. It's only United have done. The Arsenal teams didn't. That's crazy. That is crazy. I didn't even know. Yes, because West Ham even got him on
No, what do you mean his entire career? So before that,
I think he means his latter career.
It can't be entire.
That's a diss if it is, because I know West Ham got him on a free as well. That I do know.
That's crazy. Sui's saying, I rate Jones, but he hogs the ball for too long and he can generally not pick a quick pass. He plays that players do in academies when they want to stand out. No, I hear that. But if you don't play every game, of course you're going to stand out. How else are you going to stay?
Yeah.
How else are you going to go and play? Like, I'd understand if you played week in, week out and did it. But to be fair, in our midfield, sometimes you need a brother to do that as well. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes you need a brother to get on the ball that wants the ball constantly. It's going to hold it. It's going to change up the dynamic.
That was Elliot in the first 3 games of last season. He was our live wire, bro. He just wanted to do everything.
Exactly. He needed it. Edward saying, of course, in a perfect world, I'd do a 1 in 1 out midfield this summer, next summer, and summer of 2024. Yeah, facts. I think that's the best way Klopp would want to do it anyway. I don't think he's ever doing a wholesale change. So, yeah, man. Tony saying Hendo Milner should never be starting for LFC. Facts, all facts.
Whoa. Does he mean together?
They shouldn't be starting.
Cool. This is where I disagree. Hendo in certain games. I don't mean in general.
Let's say, but cool. But let's say you got Milner. Let's say we brought in the targets that we're supposed to have. We've got the midfielders that we're supposed to have.
Oh no, Jerry. Then yes, but I mean currently.
Well, currently, of course.
I
think that's what he's trying to say. I think he's trying to say they shouldn't be starting. They should.
I agree with you.
That is the issue. I think that's what he's trying to say. Yeah, I'm just saying Jones needs a loan. Listen, man. I'm scared for him, man.
Just like I just said though, he gets a loan, and I reckon within that loan we do strengthen our midfield. It just makes it even harder for him to get in.
Jamrock saying net spend is kind of a myth because clubs normally look at the entire package for the duration of the contract. Transfer fee, wages, agent fees, 100%. 100%, because it's just money outgoing at the end of the day, isn't it?
Because
Like,
even the Nunez deal.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry to cut you, bro. Even the Nunez deal, that wasn't just 64 straight. That's over. That's over like a year span, isn't it?
It's over away, but not only that, it's obviously that you got to take into consideration his wages are really low. His wages are really low, which means that the problem you've got with Bellingham, as an example, is that not only are you signing him for 100 million, he's going to want to be on 250 or 300 on a 5-year deal. 250 over a 5-year deal. Do you know what I mean? That ends up being a lot of money. Do you know what I mean? A lot of money. That's crazy money. So you got that, and then obviously agent fees and all that type of stuff, and that's where you're looking at the fee, and it's massive. And I think that's where FFP's flawed, to be fair, because I think it needs a lot of tweaking. As I was saying, Elliott started the first 3 games, not Hendo. He was pretty ruthless then. Bobby is his favourite player. His mints have been restricted. Hendo didn't start because Hendo was still injured and went to the Euros. That's why he didn't even start the Euros. That's why that availability.
He only came on as a sub in the Euros, isn't it?
Yeah, remember, he didn't play because of the injury, the foot injury. Remember, he rushed that season. He was injured towards the end of the season.
Yeah, but he was desperate to. Yeah, I think he only got a cameo against Ukraine, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Remember, he didn't play towards the end of the season. We relied on Thiago and and Jones and Fab at the back. I mean, in midfield. So, yeah, man. Shawnee there, quick one as well. We're gonna go and obviously chop that up because Sean's obviously chatting up here. Boys, what is your pecking order for the current midfield? That's a interesting one. Ooh, for the current midfield, yeah.
I feel like me and you have the same. I'll let Jerry go. No, I'll let him go first. And if I've got any tweets, but I feel like ours will be the same.
Man are gonna click me up for this, man. All right. I'm just going on what I would do if I was Klopp, and if I could play my game and the way I want to play. Yeah. All right. I'm saying Fabinho, if fit, obviously Thiago, Fab, Thiago. It's got to be Hendo. It's got to be Jones, Elliott, Naby, Ox, Milner.
You literally said the exact same. That's my exact same one.
That's the one I would go with. I think we've got to transition away from Naby. I think we do. I think he's not available, and I think I think you can interchange either Elliott or Jones as well. I think you can interchange them. Obviously, you've got Carvalho as well. Damn. Oh, I haven't seen Carvalho in it, so I'm going to put Carvalho after Elliott. I haven't seen him play for Liverpool yet.
And the reason why I wouldn't even include him just yet, I think Klopp's going to deploy him out wide. I don't think he'll be in our midfield at the start. But I think the last two as well, when you said Naby, Ox, if Ox was fitter, I would have him higher than Naby. But let's be real, they're both as bad each other. But if we had to pick one who stays fit more than the other, it'll probably be Naby over Ox. But I agree with Jerry's pecking order, man. And if you ask me now, is that good enough to win the Premier League? I'm saying no before you even finish your sentence.
Listen, that's crazy, man. I big up Big Six Bants in the cut. Obviously, the main man like Mont's doing incredible things over there. Make sure everyone in the chat, if you're here, obviously you guys have probably seen me on Big Six, so you've probably obviously subscribed as a result. But if you haven't, if you don't know about Big Six Bants, definitely hop over there because they chop up everything football related, everything. So, and I think.
Sorry to cut you, Jay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Monts. They're going live literally later. I think 7:30 as well. So
in an hour.
Exactly.
If you're new, it's easy. After we're done, we're gonna just shift over everyone. That would be great if you could do that. If we could have, there's 12 people watching. If we could have 12 people already waiting for that show to start, that's incredible, man. Incredible. Big up Monts, man. Big up
Monts, man. Every time.
Fabrizio has confirmed that Otavio news was fake, so his club was doing it to keep our fans quiet. They see the outrage about a midfielder. All right, cool. Great segue, innit? Great segue. We're going to talk about, obviously, players coming in. Now, obviously, Otavio, I've heard about this myself as well. So, obviously, the Otavio news, Neil Jones, obviously came out saying that it's fake, that he's obviously spoken to his insiders and have said that it's nothing's to come of it, that the links towards an Otavio is not true. Now, regardless, though, I still think we're going to speak about Otavio. So obviously,
100%, because this you need to remember, even context to this, we've been linked to this guy for the past 2 summer windows anyway.
Yeah, so he's always been there. So
yeah,
clearly, he's someone that he's been on the cards. Like Liverpool have looked at him, trying to go and get him. Now he's 28.
Sorry, 28.
Yeah, I think he's 28, 27, 28.
Actually, you're right, because 2 years ago, you're right.
27, 28. Look, don't take my word for it. I think he's either 27 or 28. He's not younger than that. But obviously, we're not getting Bellingham. It's looking like this summer. He's not coming this summer as of now. I mean, as of the 27th of June, he's not at Liverpool. So we're linked with Otavio. Now, Otavio is someone, he's similar to Carvalho in the sense that he can play in the 10, can play out wide as well also, especially on the right. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking? Would you go and get someone like that?
I don't want to just sound desperate, but yeah, because right now I was about to say I'll take any midfielder, but I'm not going to be too mad. But the thing is, I've watched him, not even just against us, because we've played Porto quite a lot in the last 2 to 3 years, and he's been there. He's actually played well against us, low center of gravity, like you said. I think he got double digits in assists last season, so that's key. That could be key against the low blocks, whatnot. One thing I will say, I rate him. To answer your question, yes, I'd get him in, and I feel you agree, Jerry. The midfielder we bring in, I at least want to see 8 to 10 league goals. I want them to score goals, and when I checked his stats for last season, even the season before, I don't think he got past 5 or 6. He was getting Fabinho's numbers for this year, basically. Yeah. And why I specify league goals, because it's what you play in the most. Yeah. And let's be real, out of the 4 competitions, it's our priority to win the league. So, yeah, I think it was 11 assists and 3 goals. But again, speaking about pecking order, what Shawnee said, for me, he will be third in mine. He's after Fab and Thiago, he will then be third, and it shows he's better than what we already have. And like you said, he's versatile. Got a lot of energy as well. If you watch him, he rarely tires. But
is that not a bit of a worry? The fact that someone that gets about 5 league goals a season,
of
is
course,
better than what we've got in terms of getting goals and creativity from midfield.
The only reason why I was a bit gassed for it is because when I then look at our midfield, again, you have to add context. Portuguese League, Premier League, I know, two different leagues, whole different ball game, but 11 assists. Not a lot of men get double digits in assists, bro. So
yeah, especially from the center of the park. Yeah, so.
Exactly. So I don't know the metrics. People can help us out in the comments, but I'm not sure who got the most assists in our midfield this year. And I could put my money that it weren't any more than, I'd say, 7. So
it can't be, man.
You know what I mean?
It can't be. Hold on, we're gonna go and obviously Edward saying here, don't you think Otavio that he's more of a jack of all trades than a master of one? Yeah, he's not a specialist, but I think that's what. I mean, I like specialists, I do, but I feel that Klopp is someone that does like that. He likes jack of all trades. He likes players that can play multiple positions. That's why when I spoke about Nunez, I wouldn't be surprised if we went and saw him on the left, play him on the left and cutting in, and which is just depressing.
I wouldn't even just say that's us, though. I think that's the way the modern day game's going. You have to be able to play in at least minimum 3 positions now.
Yeah,
I don't even think that's just a Klopp or Liverpool thing. I just think that's a generic thing now.
Yeah, to be fair, maybe you're right. I was saying he's not fast. Obviously, Tony saying Jay Spearing's our new midfielder. That right there is a disrespect. Disrespect. On the under 23s. That's money coming out of the team again. Crazy saying. Tony saying Vitinha gone to PSG, Nunez going to Wolves. We are giving ourselves less options waiting for Bellingham. We can't be 100%. We can't. No, if we are 100%, I assume we can get him. Yeah, do you know what it is? We either get him now and we're not going to get him.
Yeah,
we either get him now or you don't want to get him. If he has another good season, for me, he's gone. He's gone. Going back here, Jamrock saying Liverpool paid 75 million euros up front for Nunez per Benfica's statement. It will be amortized in our books over 5 years, but 75 million was paid up front. Oh wow! Oh wow! Okay.
No wonder why I'm even stingy.
That's mad, but that's obviously this amortization. That's what happens with businesses, isn't it? But it's mad to say that we actually paid 75 million up front. That's crazy. I think hearing that, I'm not really impressed because Michael Edwards would have never done that. And why is Julian Ward playing 75? Maybe that's why we're not signing a midfielder. Klopp thought
that's what I just said. That's what I just said. No wonder I'm even stingy.
Yeah, maybe Klopp thought the deal was done. Do you know what I mean on a payment plan, and then he's come to see him, been like, actually, we paid 75 million. We've got nothing left. We've got nothing left. I don't know.
You know that Ian Bill me.
Yeah, I've got nothing left. Listen. I need to go, yeah, and I'm gonna go and get a list of all these type of gifts. We're gonna have to slap them into the chat when we're talking about this stuff.
No, I'll research for you, so there's so many that can relate to. Yeah,
it needs to, man. Obviously, G was saying, "Bon Otavio, man, we need better." Listen, 100%, man.
I can actually hear it, but G, ask yourself this though: he's better than what we've already got. But I hear you. There's better out there.
There is better, but we're not getting better, innit? So if these are the people that we're linked with, like Asensio as well, we spoke about Asensio, but. Yeah, I mean, in things, it's the same type of things that we keep talking about. Is that there's rumors that pop out. Essentially, was spoken about last week, and then a journalist comes out and says, "Oh, we're actually not linked with him." Otavio's then come out, and now Neil Jones has come out and said we're not linked with him. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on with the rumor mill? It's like Tony said somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I'm not sure I can find it, but I can't find it. But it's where he said. We're doing this whole thing, but it's just like we're appeasing the fans. The fans know we need a midfielder, so they're just running these stories to get us excited, just to calm us down on the socials and do you know what I mean in terms of in the spaces, which is crazy. It's crazy. Hold on there. Sui saying, why did Van Dijk sign a big contract without pushing the club for more? Was he scared about his future with the ACL and just signed a long-term contract to secure his future? Maybe. Listen, I don't know Van Dijk, but I feel he's not someone that's out there to be the best. Then otherwise he would have gone to a Barca, a Bayern. I mean, someone would have come in for him. Like I'm telling you now, even though we don't hear about it, there are certain players that get asked about every season. I'm telling you, Van Dijk is a name on everyone. If Van Dijk was made available, every club in the world would want him.
Even Trent. Remember the rumors of Real Madrid sniffing around Trent and whatnot?
Yeah,
I'll say for free right now though. I saw an article, not to go off topic. Feel like there's some loyalty in football, and people in the comments might call me mad, but there's a certain crop of players I can see staying at their club forever, like the Reece James, the Trents, the Fodens, whatnot. If you just have that winning nature and you've come from the academy, you support the club. Because there was an article, if Trent might want to be paid what he's worth, and he might see all the other top right backs. But I feel Trent is one player because his love for the club will kind of override what he feels he needs to be earned, whatnot. Yeah. That's one thing I will say about that.
Yeah, I feel a lot of the players that they get, they do kind of have they want that kind of dynamic where they care about the club and the project more than kind of the money they earn.
Even Saka, if Arsenal are winning things, he's one that I think would stay, but he's the only one that probably I think will leave out of that crop because you already know what Arsenal on. But yeah,
big up, Jonathan, man. That's all the way from Colombia as well. So big up, getting Colombian, which is crazy, man. He's saying, don't you think Nico Barella would fit on a team? Yeah, I think he would. I think that's someone that's perfect. That's perfect for what we're trying to do.
After Bellingham, yeah.
He can play the Thiago role in a similar way because he can dictate a game, but can also get forward and he's got legs. So I don't know what you think about Barella, but
I said it on one of my separate streams. After Bellingham, he's now my number 2. If you ask me who I want right now in that 8, because he's a player I would listen 100%. He would get double digits goals in the league. He'll get minimum 10. Minimum. He loves to shoot, loves to drive. He's exactly what you need. You can even argue right now, Bellingham would be more for our future, whatnot, because of age. He's 18. But if you ask who's better right now, you would have to say Barella, because obviously he's later in his development and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love him. I've been hearing a lot about Paqueta, right? I don't know your thoughts on this, Jerry. I only really watched him at Milan, and I thought it was a bit underwhelming there.
Yeah.
But apparently at Lyon, he's had an amazing year and a half. And even when I saw him against West Ham, he looked a player.
He's tearing up. Listen, just for John, innit? Just for John. The prayers for Paqueta, innit? Just for John, because I know John. Yeah, we got to do that, because I know why John.
I think he said it last stream as well.
He's braving Paqueta. Listen, every stream, any Liverpool stream you see, he's screaming Paqueta. So we're gonna do that for him. We're gonna, I mean, kind of imagine Paqueta in the Liverpool kit already. Gonna try see if we can get that done. All right, but quick one. All right, so we're talking about players coming in. Now, if I said to you Danjuma, what would you say? Liverpool were linked with him. Liverpool were linked with him. How do you feel about Danjuma coming in?
I'm here for it again. Coming into his peak years, World Cup year, I actually think he's quality as well. Not just to get someone in. I actually think he's quality. He's dangerous. He's very direct. But again, I think he only excels if we actually keep our system. Because this 4-3, if we went to a 4-2-3-1, our white men almost have to come creators. I wouldn't say Jan Jim is a creator, but in our current system, him and Diaz are more your modern, your old-fashioned wingers, as you like. So I'm here for it. I think his buyout clause is 35 million as well. I don't think wage will be an issue. If I remember rightly, though, he's left winger, but he can play the right. I feel Salah needs competition, because Salah's going to go in every game next season thinking, I know I'm going to play. And
his whole contract situation with Salah as well. He can't be controlling the club like this, where I know I'm playing every week. You ain't gonna drop me, and I'm gonna get my money. Whatever's going on.
This is why I slightly hope Carvalho will start in the wide positions. I just hope Carvalho which I think he will do, and comes in as a blinder. But again, Klopp has his faith. Carvalho could have 5 outrageously good games, and Klopp will still probably play Salah, who's, you know what I mean? You know what Klopp's like?
100%. But just on that, I'm gonna get some stats up. So we're talking about Danjuma, and a lot of people, when Danjuma was linked, were slandering it, saying they weren't here for it. This was even last season. Do you know what I mean?
I was hearing, look, he's at Bournemouth. Why are we shuffling in the Championship? I was hearing all of that.
He's got to Villarreal, and then, do you know what I mean, in January, no one was trying to hear it. Cool. I'm gonna add the little thing into the stream. Yeah. So obviously, big up. Hold on, let me make sure I take all this. So hold on. Yeah. Right, big up, obviously, Anfield Analytics for getting this over to me, because it was obviously short notice, but he's done wonders for us, innit? So, can you guys can see it, innit? You can see it, Roms, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, obviously, we're seeing here, obviously, this is looking at Danjuma in regards to our 6 strikers, where it's our 5 now, isn't it? So, obviously, Salah, Mane, Jota, Firmino, Diaz, and it was Mane at the time as well. But obviously, Mane's departed. But it's still good to look at, because we see what we've lost with Mane, right?
100%.
So we're looking at goals in La Liga and the Premier League and the Primera Liga, yeah? Nunez and obviously Salah, they topped the charts because we got the same amount. Danjuma's coming with 10, yeah? But you have to remember, so although that's quite low, I feel like he's obviously playing for a worse team. Under Emery, they're way more defensive. They're not.
Correct me if I'm wrong as well. Didn't he pick up an injury back end of last season?
He did. And he was injured in the first leg when we faced them as well.
Exactly.
So yeah, he was injured. So he was injured for a while, but we're seeing there. So Danjuma's obviously in yellow to represent obviously the. So you got 10 goals, which 10 goals, do you know what I mean, isn't bad, especially considering if you look at Jota's numbers before he left Wolves, they weren't at 15. Exactly. They weren't at 15. So to get him at 10 is decent, right?
Decent, yeah.
All right, what's more interesting now as we move on, so move to the right. So goals per 90. This is where it gets interesting. So obviously, Nunez's goals per 90 is ridiculous, isn't it? He's averaging 1 goal per 90, which is crazy.
I pray that carries on. That we just have to pray.
The XG is crazy on him, because we're going to move on to that anyway. But Salah's obviously second, but look at Danjuma there. Look at Mane and Firmino. Look at Mane and Firmino.
And even the gap's kind of.
And the gap's big.
That's mad.
The gap's
that is
big.
mad.
Considering we look at where Mane played for the majority of the season, he played up front. Danjuma was playing on the left. Interesting. It's interesting.
Very interesting.
The XG here, and we're looking at the XG, and look, Nunez
even higher than Nunez.
It's higher than Nunez.
Wow.
At 0.69. His XG is almost the same as Salah's. 0.01
off.
0.01 off. Which is crazy, right? Crazy. Shots per 90 again, we move on. He's averaging 3.3. Same amount as Diaz, Nunez, Jota. It's all in that same range.
And this is what I'm saying, Jerry, before you even put up the metrics here. He's very direct. Very.
You see it now. This is what's really crazy to me. And we talk about being clinical. 47% shot on target. Nunez, we're looking at Nunez to be our clinical striker. He's not that far off.
He's only 4% off.
He's not.
No, even before you put up these metrics here, I was for it. Now I'm even more for it.
It's mad, and we're gonna run this agenda because he's someone that I looked at when he was at Bournemouth. I remember this was 3 seasons ago. Now I went to watch Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth because I know a couple of the Crystal Palace lot, and he impressed me. They obviously weren't there, but he impressed me. He was very.
I went to watch him live, right, in a playoff semi-final against Brentford. So he got the opening goal. He was a nuisance for them. He was like Pinnock and whatnot couldn't deal with him. They couldn't, like Rico Henry, Pinnock and that. They didn't know what to do with him. But again, I think he got hooked early because he felt something in that game. But I've actually seen him live. And like you said, he's a handful. And imagine him with better players. Yeah,
and I think you got to think about as well the fact that he's Dutch does help a lot because Verge has actually come out and said he misses Wijnaldum a lot. He misses Gini a lot, and
I'm happy you said that, bro.
Helps you knowing that I've got a brethren from the same team as me. I don't mind if I'm not playing because I can associate with these players. I don't mind not playing because that's my brother playing out there.
Exactly. Because I'm so happy you brought that up, Jerry, because a lot of people don't understand how big that is in a player's decision to move into a club. And that's why we're only going to spend seconds on them. That's why the Rafinha and Jesus deals will probably go through, because the contingent in Arsenal of Brazilian players now, there's about 5 or 6 of them if them 2 transfers go through. So even word to what you said, even before you said that, I was going to say the fact Dutch is there, he's got his compatriot there with him. Yeah, it's a big thing. It is actually a big thing. Yeah, and like you said, him and Wijnaldum were always together, understandably.
Yeah, the one that obviously stands out in terms of these metrics is not only the goals, but then obviously here in regards to Danjuma is obviously his conversion rate. Now the conversion rate is at 15.5%, which is quite low. But look at Diaz's. Diaz's is at 10.8%. So it's still significantly higher than Diaz, and it's not too far off Jota. And he's playing in a worse team. We saw when we played them. Him playing in the Liverpool team, listen, there could be something there 100%. I'm going to move on to the next slide because this one's going to be talking about creativity. So we're looking at the creative aspect of obviously Danjuma. Now, in terms of assists, you can see obviously Salah trumps it up in terms of assists. But you go further down the list and you see Danjuma, Jota, Nunez, Mane, all got the same amount of assists. Similar amount of assists, 2 and 3. So he does fit the mold in terms of what a clock mid winger likes. I know it's not crazy numbers in terms of assists, but you can see obviously the reliance on Trent and Robbo to give us the assists in the current system means that he's not reliant to he's not there to get assists. He's there to get goals essentially and cause havoc, like you said, further up the field. But that's really promising for me because the profile of these players are really similar. Bar Salah, that's the outstanding one in terms of assists. This
is proper insightful, and you know what makes this even more attractive? That he's in a worse team. These are all in a better team. That he's in a worse team as well. And you know another thing you've probably clocked as well, Jerry, that you've not brought up. His press is amazing as well.
Yeah. His legs, his press is really, really good.
When I watched him in that second leg in the playoff before Brentford came up, that's one thing I was thinking when I was watching. I was thinking this guy doesn't stop pressing. That Brentford's back four didn't know what to do, honestly. But
go on. Sorry,
I didn't know this. Like, I knew he was a great player, and I was for it before you even put this up. But this is proper insight. I'm actually impressed with this because, like you said, if he's in and around all the stats, some of them that second highest, third highest, and all of our other players in a better team, but actually you could say bar Nunez, I'm all for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's looking mad, and then you go to assists per 90. And look, bar Bobby and Salah, Bobby being the main creator when he plays in that kind of false nine, and Salah just being the outstanding player in terms of assists that season. Diaz, Danjuma, Nunez, Jota, Mane at 0.06, which is crazy per 90 considering when he played up front. Which actually, to be fair, in regards to Mane, it just suggests to me that, and if you guys can see it in the chat as well, that he didn't actually play as a false nine towards the end of the season. He just played as a number 9.
Yeah.
Because look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Bobby had more assists per 90 than him in way less games. Because
Bobby hardly played. Yeah.
Bobby hardly played, but at 0.25. But as you can see there, Danjuma on 0.17, which again, it's a similar kind of, do you know what I mean? Diaz, Danjuma, Nunez and Diaz obviously being our kind of newer signings. They're all really similar. And when you break it down, it does look a bit. Do you know what I mean? Again, same thing. You're looking at assists, expected assists per 90. And obviously, you're looking at Mane and Danjuma. Similar numbers. Do you know what I mean? Similar numbers. And Mane going out, I do think that's an option that we could go for. I really think in terms of the numbers now, you're looking Jota, Diaz. It's not too far away from each other. They're not.
I'd love it. And again, like I just alluded to earlier, modern day, you have to be able to play several positions. He can play that right or left. Yes, he's more affected on that left. But who's to say what you alluded to earlier? He's naturally a left winger. Let's say he starts playing better than Diaz, and you even said Diaz potentially switches to that right. That's havoc from either end.
Exactly, and that's something to look at, and maybe that's the route we're going down. We don't know until obviously pre-season starts, which to be fair, I can't wait for it to start. But
Same.
We're looking here in key passes per 90. Yeah.
Can I just to stop you on that point? I think we'll both agree. I'm not going to say excited, but I've never been more interested for a pre-season than this one.
100%.
Never been more interested. I wouldn't say excited because I'm not happy with what we've done so far, but I'm so interested because it's going to give us an idea of Klopp's thinking going into the season.
100%, man. 100%. It's crazy. I've just gone and checked. We've got 26 likes.
Wicked. 26. Listen, I'm going to be that guy that just tries to push it, bro. I reckon we can push that easily to about 30, 35. Easily. Tell a friend to tell
35, yeah. Listen, the chat could listen. I'm gonna make a poll in the next video. I'm gonna have to do a kind of a forfeit. If we get 35 likes on a live stream, bro, we're competing with brothers that got 1K subs. That's crazy.
Literally
crazy talk. So big up, man. Big up, everyone. All right, back to it. Key passes per 90. This is what was really interesting. Look at Nunez's. Oh. People say he ain't got link up play.
And that's from him being a 9.
9, and people say he hasn't got link up play.
And that shows that's showing to me he drifts a lot to probably create them passes.
And the fact that he's versatile as well. He's versatile. Yeah. It's crazy. When you break down the stats, doesn't say everything, of course, but it looks it does look crazy. You look at Danjuma there, for example, 0.51. That's not far off Jota's numbers. And if Jota's good enough for Liverpool, I think Danjuma's what, and I think you could get him for cheaper. I think you can get him for cheaper. I think 30 mil. I think 30 mil you get him.
And I don't think wages will be an issue either.
No, definitely, because he's going to want to move.
Yeah.
He's going to want to move. These are the type of players that we go for. He's going to want to move. What's mad now as well, so shot assists per 90, which I wonder what shot assists are goals that result in assists. I mean, shots that result in assists. So if you have a shot and it rebounds, I assume. You can see Salah there at 1.48, Nunez as well, which are quite high up considering the position they play in the spacing. He's at the lowest. He's the lowest of them. But it suggests to me that either he's not taking as many shots as everyone else, or the players around him aren't converting those tap-ins.
Yeah.
A lot of his shots mean that he's one-on-one with the centre-back or the defender. He takes his shot, but there's no one in following up because they're so deep as a team. I think we saw it when we played Villarreal. They were quite deep, which meant that, do you know what I mean?
There's no one really to like follow up or whatnot.
Exactly. It was one or two players, do you know what I mean, attacking, whereas you can see Nunez, Jota, Salah, when they're shooting, there's brothers around, do you know what I mean? Which means that we're attacking together as a unit. We move on to obviously here now to passes in the penalty area. And look at that. You got Salah and Mane, which are, to be fair, that's quite incredible. They're playing the 4 passes in the penalty area, which just shows the link-up play between, do you know what I mean, our front, our forward players. But look at Diaz and Nunez and Danjuma. They're all in a similar bracket.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying as well, with Nunez and Diaz being the ones that we've signed as of recent, which suggests to me that they fit the profile of what we need.
Yeah.
Now we talk about we can't get a replacement for Salah. Maybe it's right under our noses. Maybe someone, and even someone said it in the chat as well. And I'm going to highlight it again. We were linked with him in Bournemouth. Why didn't we get him then? We could have got him at 15 mil.
Again, it's us being reactive and not proactive, bro. Just what I've alluded to. And I've heard like some Liverpool fans say, "Oh, but we can't sign him because it stunts Diaz's growth in our team." I'm thinking, what? He's versatile, number one. And look what happened. Look at Diaz's effect on Mane, shifting Mane out of his position, which he wasn't playing well in. And Mane, you start to get the best out of Mane. What people need to realize in teams competing for the title, just being a great team, you need competition. So you don't down tools naturally. Like the more competition you have around you, you know, damn, my place ain't guaranteed for the next. Me and you've played ball. If I know I'm not gonna lie to you. If I know I'm starting the next thing guaranteed, that 5% might drop off. That 10%
yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? It's natural. Whereas if I know a man, we just signed someone in my position. He wants my shirt essentially. Do you know what I mean? It will naturally rises the competition and rises other players' games. So it's a no-brainer. You're right. We could have got him in 15, but again, we were just reactive. Didn't even come out and say, not actually say I want to go Liverpool, but he was flattered by the.
He was doing what he was doing. You know when you go and see a thing just in the club or whatever, and she's just doing a little sly little dance. She got a drink in a cup. Do you know what I mean? The music's playing. She's not full on twerking. She's not full on twerking for the man then. But she's there just eyeing you up. That's what he was doing. And I feel like someone that we could just go and get 100%. And I hope you got, like, it's quite insightful for everyone obviously in the chat, because when you break it down, like someone like that, it's difficult to get the stats. But Danjuma, I think, is a great player to have. And this bit is this thing that really made me go,
you know what?
Right.
This slide, it's literally just remind me of one goal. You remember in the league when Trent played that amazing ball to Jota, what we kind of alluded to earlier, and Jota did that run, controlled it, and dinked it over the keeper, right? It might have even been Carabao Cup second there. I can see Danjuma scoring that type of goal for us countless times, because he makes that inverted run. Trent has the ability, even Thiago, to spot him in behind, one-on-one finish.
100%, man.
I was on this Danjuma train, but I'm actually like now on it, holding on to every bar.
Listen, I'm going to run the agendas, man. I'm going to run the agendas. Listen, everyone in this chat, we need to obviously go and just push this, because if you guys are seeing this, like, to me, look, this is going to be the interesting bit, yeah? We talk about being direct and taking your man on, yeah?
Okay.
Wanting a winger, like we spoke about Mane saying you can't take his winger on. Jota can't. You alluded to it before, Roms. You don't feel he can take his man on. Cool.
Yeah.
Dribbles per 90. Who's topping the charts? Danjuma. Yeah. Over Salah and Diaz, which you would say that, do you know what I mean, they dribble the most. So They're dribbling the most penalties.
That shocked me. I would have expected Diaz to be top of that metric.
Exactly.
That has
So
actually
7 dribbles per 90. Yeah, cool. Offensive duels won. He's winning 47.5% of his offensive
and
duels.
this relates what me and you were just saying.
One-on-ones.
That's crazy.
Look at Salah's. Look at Mane's. The drop-off is quite big.
Drop-offs and that shows that also relates to his press. How well his press is.
It's mad. When you're looking at the press, you're looking at offensive duels one. He's at 47.5%. Yeah. You look at Salah, the drop-off is mad. He's getting the same offensive duels as Bobby on average.
That is mad.
And we've seen the legs, and I think you've seen it with Bob, Jota. Look, people are talking about Mane saying you can't take on his man. We need to have a look at Salah. You have to look at Salah, take a look, because off the ball, he's doing those runs that you're talking about. But on
me
the
and
ball,
you've been saying the past 6 months, Salah just wasn't doing it, bro. But ever since he came back from AFCON, he wasn't. Whereas previous season, you'll see Salah beating his man. This is actually very interesting, bro. Like he literally epitomizes a crop attack. Oh, he literally fits the demographic perfectly.
Yeah, you're looking here, progressive runs per 90. Again, who are topping it? We saw it one in the flesh with Diaz at 3.5 per game, per 90. Danjuma at 3.6 in a Villarreal team that's worse off. That's worse off. And you're looking here now, and I think this is what's really, really, it's not, I'd say it's quite shocking, yeah? Talking about successful dribbles. Diaz, Mane, Nunez, and Danjuma make up the top 4. Mane's gone at the equation, right? At 54.5 because he's gone to Bayern. So Diaz is topping the charts with 62. I mean, we saw it in it. In terms of dribbles, he's probably the best dribbler.
Skinning man for fun.
He was scary. But look at Nunez and Danjuma. Look at Salah and Jota and Bobby.
And do you see why earlier, I know this ain't about Jota, but do you see why earlier I said I don't really get. Do you know what I mean?
I see it. But then we've got to hold that same energy for Salah as well. We have to.
And I have been 100%, bro. 100%. And that's why, the reason why, not to come off Danjuma quickly, but this is why I kind of have faith in Salah, because I feel like this break he needed. We know at the start of every season, bro, Salah, I think he's broke the record. He scores on the first day. Well, since he's been here, he scored on the opening game, every game. And I just remember, I know you remember that game. Remember the not behind closed doors, but the empty Anfield Stadium against Leeds, and he got that hat trick and he shaved off his hair. And I was like, this is a next Salah hat. He's gone up another level. This is what I'm saying. I think Salah can then get back to that. But I definitely keep that energy. The last 6 months, he hasn't been doing that. But successful dribbles, if he's got over half, you've gassed me, you know. You've gassed me.
You've got over half, and you got to understand as well that with successful dribbles, a successful dribble ends if you can pop off your shot, beat your man, or make a pass. If he's doing that, but like we described, the team's proper, do you know what I mean? In their low block, they're just telling Danjuma, run out your man. That's not going to be a pass on a lot of the time. A lot of the time, he might get past his man and he might get kicked out for throwing. He might get to the byline and try to take his man on, and then he just takes one too much. And I think with the type of players we got, listen, it could be something special, man.
You know why this is perfect as well? Because people are screaming for a Rafinha or a Bowen. One, we're just going to get extorted by both clubs. And they're 2 players that I feel if they come to Liverpool, they want to start. They will have to be in the clause that I'm starting. Whereas Danjuma, I think he will have that. I know he wants to start his World Cup here as well, but I do feel Danjuma might not mind not playing as much as maybe a Rafinha and a Bowen. Do you know what I mean?
I think a Danjuma playing. Do you know what I mean? He will be the option. I think having him as an option, especially with the 5 subs, I think it's a no-brainer. I think if he goes and we've got the 5 subs and he's there, I think he gets into his World Cup. I don't think that's an issue for him. I think wages is not an issue. And I think he knows that, Salah's not signing a contract. So this is my warm-up season and my breakout season, the season after. Well, I take over that role. Do you know what I mean? And that 10 given to me or whatnot. You never know, innit? You never know how well we do. Just to finish up on the Danjuma thing. Listen, big up because I've just seen Demo in the chat as well saying 5 more to 35 likes.
Come on, we can do this. I told we can do this before the stream ends. We can do this, man.
That is crazy. That's crazy. And there's 19 of you watching as well. Crazy. Big up everyone in the chat. Now, successful attacking actions per 90. And you're looking at the top 4 again, and he's ranking there, and he's with them. He's with Nunez and Salah, with the drop-off being with Mane and Jota and Firmino. Again, and that's with in a Villarreal side, that a defensive Villarreal side. He's at 6.1, the same as Diaz, the same as Nunez. I mean, that's the same. You're talking about 0.0. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what's gassing me off these stats as well? I know this is mainly Danjuma focused, but how Nunez is up there in all of them, and he's playing in the worst league out of the lot.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say is that when you're looking at these players, I think you can see why we're looking at a Nunez, and maybe this suggests that Nunez, in fact, is actually going to be that guy. Because the last one, I think this is crucial as well. I think especially for the number 9, is touches in opposition box per 90, with Salah having 7, who's right up behind him. It's Nunez, which obviously I was fearful a bit that, he might go and play on the left and just drift around a bit, but he's going to want to be in that box.
100%.
Even if he drifts away, he's going to want to be in that box, because we look at Mane and even Bobby, and look how far Bobby is down, 4.4 touches in the box.
And that also shows me, sorry to cut you, bro, that also shows me Nunez will just want to get out his feet and shoot. Again, Danjuma just wants to get out his feet and shoot. Do you know what I mean?
100%, which is mad. And Danjuma, again, you're seeing he's getting into the box as well. So you're looking at something that's 5.74. He's close to Diaz, and we saw how Diaz was affecting our back line. So look, in all, I think I just threw this in there just to go and show that there are options in it, and I think maybe a Danjuma is someone that we should look at. Because I think it then allows us to go and play a Carvalho in midfield and not have to play him out wide. It means that when we're going into an FA Cup game, we don't need to rely, or if Salah gets injured, we're not relying on Chamberlain to be playing out wide. We've got Danjuma to go in straight there.
Exactly. He's actually tailor-made for it. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I think that was properly insightful for me. I think anyway, it's crazy.
Big up Anfield Analytics, man. I was already on, like I said, I was already on the Danjuma chain, like yourself. But I even know you're probably on it before them stats. But now they grips you even more. Like, wow, it's gone from we should get him to let's get him now.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Let's just obviously go run through the comments before we go and head out. Listen, we've done a stream for almost 2 hours, which is probably the longest stream I've done in my life, innit? So big up. I know Roms went and done a graveyard shift a couple of days ago, and it was crazy for him.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
2 hours, man. But
it's the content that we want to give our fan base. Come on, bro.
Yeah, man. Hopefully it's a bit different, a bit insightful. We're not just going, do you know what I mean? Especially on the
exactly.
I'm not trying to go just down the same narrative. We're looking at different players, do you know what I mean? Options and that type of thing. And let me know as well after the show done in the comments if there's any kind of players you want us to look at in terms of like stats. We can go and compare. Listen, we've got a good relationship with Anfield Analytics, so we can get that over to you 100%. Like, do you know what I mean? At any moment. So just make sure. Let's go. Let's pure these comments. We're gonna run through them. John saying Darwin, Van Nistelrooy, Nunez. Listen, I think he's got a bit more to him than that after looking at the stats. He's got a bit more to him than that. He can take on his man, he can dribble, and he gets to the box. So we're seeing it. Let's go right here. But lad, hold on. We need Jota to play right wing, top red screen. That's in response, obviously, we're talking about.
You know what you're saying earlier, Jay? So to cut, you know when you said, are we too sentimental as a fan base? If I have to do percentages, I'd say 70 are, and then it's the 30 that aren't, like myself, UG, etc. But you know, there's a new word for like sentimental Reds and don't care about the success. It's top Reds. That's the new phrase.
Top Reds, yeah. Top Reds, yeah.
Yeah, top Reds.
You're gonna speak like that, top Reds and that. Big up them, man, innit?
Your Scouse accent's proper.
Yeah, you got to do it, you know, because when you go and speak for Liverpool, you got to make sure that, you know. Wait, let me pad it up.
If I never heard you before, I'd actually think you're a Scouse.
I listen. Quick off topic for you. One mad thing I did when I was at uni, yeah. I remember in like Freshers Week, I decided to just go and just speak in a Brum accent, innit? Like a Northern accent, like my Brum accent. I did it for ages, innit? Unless I was speaking to everyone, all the freshers, I was speaking in the Brum accent and Brum accent up in Essex. Went to my first lecture, yeah? And obviously, I got dared to obviously again speak in the Brum accent, and I did it. From there, it's like I had to run with it. Everyone thought I was from Brum. One day I started talking in my other accent, everyone was, listen, finished off. It was like,
they were probably thinking, who's this imposter? Some Freaky Friday.
So like, what the hell's going on? Because, do you know what I mean? It was mad. I was like, bro. Yeah, bro, you know, like from Brum and that. Like, you know, we got to talk up north. I was speaking like from Brum. It's mad. Anyway.
That's jokes.
Anyway, big up, obviously. John saying, obviously, honestly, Lucas Paqueta is that type of signing I feel would fill the Fekir void. Had we signed Fekir, we'd have won the league 9-20. You know, 100%. 100%. I agree with that. I don't understand why we didn't sign him. I saw pictures of him in the kit. I got excited, made a mess.
It was at Melwood, bro.
I had to clean it up. Crazy. At Melwood. But, lad, yeah, top Reds, man. Guys, we have Kay Gordon and Carvalho on the right. God forbid. God forbid. Listen, I don't want to run agendas on any young players, but Kai Gordon ain't the one, man.
Yeah.
He's not. Jamrock saying, why do I keep seeing Nunez going to Wolves? I assume this is Matois Nunez, isn't it?
He's a player, man.
Baller. Fabrizio said no agreement has been made either with the club or the players as of last Friday. Do you know what it is? It's the same thing when we're hearing with Otavio and stuff. We're not linked with these players, but because there's that link with obviously Portugal, the Portuguese players and Wolves, they will always be linked. And I guarantee you they're in conversation. It will be under wraps. There's nothing official, but 100% I think they're in conversation. So yeah, man. Yeah. Big up Jared, man. Big up Jared in the chat as well, man. He's saying it's a myth in response to obviously Wolves. It's a myth. He loves a small squad, unless Klopp. It's a myth. He loves a small squad and always has had the full quota filled. Pep, on the other hand, didn't. We have always had numbers over City, but not quality. Yeah.
You know, that's actually true, right? Big up Dats as well, the City fan. He actually alluded to me during last season, City don't actually have a big squad. Like 1 to 18, they didn't actually have a big squad. And I was like, whatever, man. You know, the natural assumption is City's got a big squad. They actually, last season, this is why I said they were there for the taking, Jerry. They actually didn't have a big squad last season. They had a lot of quality, yes. But in terms of numbers, they had a lot of their youth players on the bench.
Yeah, that's mad, man. It's crazy.
Big up that comment.
It's true. It's big up that comment because this is what I say. Obviously, we've got a squad. We're going to have a full squad, but it's like you alluded to, quality. Have we got the quality? God knows. Let's go through this now. Big up everyone in the comments. I'm going to pick up a few because there's so many and we've got to try and wrap up. But yeah, man, big up Klopp Zone in obviously Ash, the team, the whole team and stuff. We're going to be obviously dropping Red Alert tomorrow as well. So obviously that's going to be an interesting conversation. So obviously if you like what we're doing here and I'm doing here and stuff, Ish as well. That's part of obviously St. LFTV with Roms. He's so if you want to catch him as well, Road Diaries. Like there's a lot of shows coming out right now and it's uber polished. So 100% check them out. He's saying they get at Nunez for link-up play because of assists, but he didn't have the man around him at Benfica, which is assist this season. Yeah, 100%. And I feel in regards to Nunez, I think it's different holding up the ball when you're trying to pin Van Dijk or Matip than, do you know what I mean, when you're dropping deep and linking up the play. Because it's really, midfielders can get on the ball, do you know what I mean, easier than a Lukaku does when he tries, unless he's spinning in behind, when he tries to pin a man and hold, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very difficult to do that. And if you look at Nunez, a lot of the time he does try to do that. He might veer to the left, but he's trying to hold up the ball as high up the pitch as possible.
He can to bring,
get up the pitch. So Yeah, 100%. I agree. I think assists will go up. I think especially when we looked at obviously the kind of the spread, the graph and the analytics from Anfield Analytics, 100%. Tony, big up Tony as well. Again, saying, what does everyone think of the leaked away kit, that greenish one?
I got a joke for this year. You know what it reminded me of? Remember
that?
Action Man, that orange/green type of, the figures. That's what it reminds me of. I feel like we're just gonna be Action Man. Whatever Liverpool you see, I like it though. That green, that hint of orange. It's different. I don't think we've seen a green kit in 8. I think we had Alonso Mascherano last time we had a green kit.
We had a neon green kit. When was this? When Klopp's first season. Yes.
We did.
First season, we did. I remember because of the Origi goal. I really wanted that kit. But yeah, I've also seen a leaked one. It was the white and green leaked.
Yeah,
you guys seen it?
I see. Is it almost like just before your TV goes off, old-fashioned TVs? It's kind of like it. Kind of look like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen that one. That one's actually, to be fair, I really, really like it. I'll see if in
I'm always a fan of white kits, to be fair. I think that should just be your standard away kit. It looks nice in the summer. What I'm begging for? Just a white kit with like the red side, like LFC sign. And that. White and red is perfect for us. I think that's always been our best away kit.
I've got that buying look in it with like the gold and something in it, white and gold, or
exactly.
I don't know, something, man. Let me go through some of these. Yeah, plus we didn't use them in a hectic run. Yeah, we didn't use our players in the hectic run, 100%. Sui saying Klopp said he wanted to sign a new long-term deal to convince other players and show proof that he's here to stay. Do you guys reckon that was for Tchouaméni, Bellingham, and Mbappe? Yeah, probably, but I don't think it's only that. I think it was also for the players that are currently here. I think it was to help get a Salah over the line, or I think, to be fair, Mane knew he wanted to leave from ages ago. And I think that's why Diaz was already on the cards. And I think Klopp signing the deal was a last attempt to try and get Mane to stay.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think when you look at it, I think that's what it is, man. G saying, JJ's analogies are jokes.
They are, bro.
It's
always like, imagine if you're in a club. Or imagine you had that thing. I love it.
It is, because everyone's been through it, innit? All the men have been through it, so you know.
Easier to relate, yeah.
You can relate. That's why, man. Tony saying, smash the likes, man. How many likes are we on now? If someone can let me know, man.
We were on 30 couple minutes. Someone said we were on 30 couple minutes ago.
Jesus.
It should be 35 by now,
That's crazy. Listen, if we're on 30, that's crazy, because, listen, I'm not speaking too much, but a certain man that I've got way less subscribers and we're doing numbers. I don't know if it's the ROMs. Maybe you need to be a permanent feature ROMs. I don't know, man, because even the last video, that's the most watched video as well on the channel.
Like I said to you, bro, whenever you need me, I'm free. I'm here, bro.
No, man, that might have to be a contract thing, you know. It might have to be a contract. That's what I'm saying, man.
I hear you.
To get a transfer from Saint, man, you get regular game time.
You know me, but I love chopping it up with you. Tell them what I call you off air. What do I call you, Joey?
What, Mr. Knowledge?
Exactly.
Yeah.
you and Ram, you two. I learn off you two. I think I'm knowledgeable, but you two, I might think one way, and you two will just hit me with something up like, they're right, you know. I love it, bro. You know me. I'm always here.
We're going here. Dima saying 5 more to 35. That's crazy. It's crazy. Pablo saying Jota is a support striker. Yeah, maybe that's what it is, isn't it? Maybe is he going to be happy with that? I think he hoped he'd probably see Mane leaving as his chance to go and play more games. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Jota would be perfect in a 4-4-2, you know. Remember like the Owen and Heskey type role? He would be
even if we played a 3 at the back, and had like a 3-4-1-2.
Oh, yeah.
You could play really well with that. You know how like interplay? That Lautaro Martinez.
With Martina and Jet. Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Jota's just, unfortunately for him, he's just not, I wouldn't say in the wrong era, but other eras would have favoured him more.
Yeah, here, Jared saying, obviously, hold on, actually, before it's Sui saying, Milner, Lallana, Hendo with Brandt, Götze, and Draxler up front. Give Klopp the key. I wanted this so badly. I thought that German contingency would be crazy. I wanted a midfield of Lallana, Brandt, and Götze. Lallana, Götze, and Draxler, because Brandt went about at the time. I wanted that midfield. I thought that would be the silkiest midfield. Silky.
It's actually crazy. Since Klopp's been here, we've hardly got any off the top of my head.
Matip.
Yeah.
Matip, that's the only one. Matip, because he was from the
No,
German.
but I don't even mean from the league. I just mean
Carriers.
the German.
Carriers.
Other than because Chan was here before Klopp.
Chan was here before.
Yeah.
It's only Carriers.
That's crazy. And deep amount of German players we've been linked with. Dumfries, for example.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like Klopp. Sometimes he's the type of manager where he's like, I don't want this player because I've worked with him before. Like,
yeah,
and I've heard of him. I want someone new. I want something different. Like,
Goretzka 2-3 windows ago would have been perfect for us.
Oh, right now if we had Goretzka, listen.
Even now. I
don't think we'd be in the stream, man. Let's just try to finish up before we head off, man. Cool. The only case I'm going to get my burner account, say nothing, smash the likes. Listen, all of you, man, get your burner accounts. I say there's 15 man of you. Every one of you make another account.
Including myself. You're going to make another one.
Why not? Yeah, Roms, make one. Actually, exit the stream, make one, innit?
I'm actually going to make one, bro. It helps. Every little helps.
Man, not man. M. Tommy, I big up M. Tomizzi, man. M. Tomizzi, big up. He said Virgil van Dijk pings the ball from the back straight to Danjuma down the middle. We move.
Well, what we were saying earlier, listen, it makes sense. I can see a Van Dijk, a Trent, a Thiago. He will make. When I saw them progressive runs in the night, I thought, yeah, he's gonna cook. You will cook in our system.
He obviously, so exactly. Again, so I'm on at 6:30 tomorrow with Klopp Zone. So make sure
there was one today, wasn't there?
Yeah. Like, literally.
Big up.
Madness every day. The streams. If you want Liverpool content and it's proper interactive, like games, all that type of thing, man. So everyone, your kids, everyone can have a watch of it, man. It's proper good. What soon you'll be on TV and you'll have to pay, man. So when it's free, you might as well head over and subscribe, man. You might as well. And all right, Pablo saying Florian Neuhaus. You guys need to look at it. He does the same job as Jude. Cool. Yeah. Listen.
Jerry, I'm gonna send you a tweet I put out 2 weeks ago, literally. Pablo, big up yourself, because I asked two people, they both aired me, by the way, but I asked two people their thoughts, because Klopp's a big admirer of him. He's what we need. He's had an underwhelming season, but we can get him going again. Big up yourself, Pablo, for that one, because I suggested this to two people a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and I think if you're good, innit? If you're good, you're good. So crazy. All right, Jesus, man, the comments are flying. Harry Wilson as well. So I'll make sure. So Harry Wilson, Neuhaus, just make sure, because if I forget, just put it. Obviously, when the stream's done, put it in the actual comments, in the YouTube comments. So that way, obviously, I'll respond to it and I'll make sure I can get that over. If you can remember as well. If anyone's got me on Twitter, Instagram, just obviously Instagram, DM, all of that type of thing as well. In Cuckoo stats, you know what? We'll do in Cuckoo as well. I'll do in Cuckoo. I think that's been done, but I can 100% do that. And look, 35 has been hit, you know.
Big up everyone in the chat, man. Honestly. Big up everyone in the chat.
That's crazy. Listen, this is a live. This is the live. I've hit 50 with the live. That's crazy. Crazy, man. Thank you, everyone. G saying they were there for the taking, bro. They've just got a lot of quality players, more than we do overall. Yeah. I don't know who that's about.
See, I think because when I was saying they were there for the taking, didn't have a recognized forward. This was the first season they didn't have the out and out number 9. Even though when they had the bird, they didn't really use him. But yeah, man, last season just can't be annoyed, but it's just you know what I mean. It was an annoying end, should I say? Yeah, man. Yeah, Jamrock saying keep doing what you're doing. More opinions based on analysis and using graphs to make your points and less emotions. Love it. I big up Jamrock, man. Big up Jamrock, man.
Big up. I'm going to go subscribe and like the video. These guys are the truth. We need more local content creators like these guys. Appreciate it, KZ, man. Appreciate it. Listen.
Big up yourself, KZ.
Subscribe. So big up. Big up, Brandon. Big up, man. Big up, lads. Catching you late at the moment. That's fine, man. Literally catch me on the replay. Do you know what I mean? Put it on the screen, share it. Do you know what I mean? With the man, them. Do it. We don't mind that. Sui saying City and Arsenal play JDP football. They don't need a big squad because they don't burn so much energy every game like we do. Yeah. Because they keep the ball. And I think I've said it before, it's conducive to winning, leagues over a sustained period of time. To be fair, I am a bit worried about Arsenal, innit? I am.
I can't lie. If these two sign, one's basically gone through. If the other one goes through,
yeah, I am a bit worried. There's someone in the chat that, do you know what I mean? He's eyeing us up right now. So
I know exactly who it is.
He's excited, isn't it? I don't even want to give him. He knows I'm going to shout him out, but
you know what? Yeah, he had a wild take, Jerry, and he'll tell you. I looked at him to say, "Shut up." He says his team would finish third, innit? And I looked at him to say, "No." But listen, Jerry, we were on the stream. Me and him were on the stream, and when he's breaking down his points, I'm not trying to give him that much respect. I'm like, he kind of has a point, but I still don't think it's true. But he made it more acceptable.
You know what it is? I'm not going to lie to you. We're from London, innit? So we experience it. From a Londoner's perspective, it's exciting what's happening down in North London, in Finsbury Park. It's exciting. But unfortunately, it's that man Arteta. And I'm looking at the camera, and this is for you, Lee.
Yeah.
That brother Arteta, listen, he's the second. I think he's going to get sacked. After Lampard, he's the second in line to get sacked. And I'm saying, if it was another manager, make him or break him. He either pops off, he either has to pop off and challenge for come like second, but 5 points off the top. And it's got to be that type of thing, especially with the money they spent, and they've got to get into Champions League and whatever.
There's no excuse now because their fans' excuse was we ain't back to him, This will actually be his 11 now.
Yeah.
No, this was from the memory and whatnot. This will be his 11.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
This is. I don't know if you want to chop that out quickly. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. You might think I'm absurd, Jerry, yeah, but I saw enough in 1819 and 1920. Joe Gomez and Van Dijk for me, and I know this might sound absurd off the back of Konate and Matip seasons, but Joey G and Van Dijk for me is still our strongest centre back partnership. I'm not on doing this recency bias. Do you remember when them two together?
I'm not going to lie to you. Matip's better than him. From a fellow centre back, and listen, I'm not going to say that because Joe Gomez is from my side of, do you know what I mean? Like,
well said, you know what I mean?
I play football with him. Catford, if anyone's from Catford, do you know what I mean? We used to go Catford Pits, so we know about that. But Matip just technically is a better centre back, and I think you get better with age. Because
it is the South London bias. That's slightly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. Gomez has got the athleticism. It's lovely to go and see and stuff, but he can be a bit rash. He's not as good with the ball. And in terms of keeping possession, he's not the best for that type of, game. I think you've seen when we're dominating teams, Matip's always the one that plays. But when we're going up against a team that's going to counter us and we're not going to be as dominant, I think that's where Gomez fits better.
And you know what?
Gomez fits better.
Matip, it's not sung about enough. The way he starts off a lot of our attacks, his dribbling is second to none. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, man. Mad. Quick JT as well saying Jota has 43 goals and assists in that 58 games. I saw that stat. It's crazy. His numbers are crazy.
Wait, what? Since being at the club or last season?
No, since being at the club, he's played 58, innit? Has had 58 appearances.
So in 58, he's had 43 GA.
Yeah, something like that. Or is it 60?
Bro, I'm sorry for everything I've said about you, bro.
Yeah, listen, that's got to get cancelled. And I've been saying it, man. Jared saying 3 more to 40 likes. I don't know what's going on. This is nosebleed settings for me right now, man.
We can push it even more.
Yeah, I'm bleeding out here, man. It's crazy. Oh, listen, yes, chat, 40 likes. Now go sub. If you haven't, we get into 1,000 subs. Tell everyone you know and share the link to the show. Listen, Jared, appreciate it, man. Listen, all you guys, listen. You're in for a treat, man, because when this blows up, you guys are coming with us, man. So big up. Jerry's channel is just going to be ridiculous. We spoke about the guy lurking. There it is. Guna Lee. Man, like Lee.
You know what, though, a bit of pro for the Guna Lee. Big up himself, because he's relatively new as well. He's got, even though we don't like them, man, but he's got good stuff, recent stuff on his channel as well, which I've unfortunately looked into, but big up Guna Lee.
Man of the match performance for him on the Prem panel show on the Coppish channel last week. It was hell.
It was crazy.
He had all of them on ropes. He came to the club and he locked off the rave. He locked it off. Yeah. He came in and every man was like,
he done the dance. Only thing I'll say about Guinness, though, let them have this time because we know how this story ends.
Yeah, listen, you know what I mean? What's going to happen? This is man. And look, Lee, if you're watching, this is for you. What's going to happen, is the documentary is going to drop. when you guys start flopping. And it's going to make everything worse. The documentary for Arsenal, yeah, it's going to drop when Arteta goes on like a 5-game losing streak and all hell's going to break loose. That's when I want to chat Lee. And that's when Lee's going to come on the show. I
tweeted it, Jerry. I said, the celebrations will be mad. I know you're acting that. The celebration will be mad. The samba, Eddie and Jesus will be calling everyone. But bro, I think they'll finish. They won't even finish a place higher or lower. They'll stay 5th and have another trophy this season, and it will just.
And it's this thing, innit? This is what I'm going to do to Lee when I see him on streams.
I love it.
Mad. Yeah, saying we need Saka off, but cool. We're going to end it here. Look, we're saying 40 likes. We've done that. Joe and VVD were too elite. No, they were good, man. They were good, trust me. And Defo, JJ got the South London bias. Yeah, man.
Now, me as well, G, because as much as Jerry was just saying about the Matip thing, I still think Gomez is that. I'm still for it, brother. I don't know. I just love Gomez.
But I hear it. Like, I'll never want to see him leave, innit? I'd never want to see him leave.
Right.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're offering him a long-term contract, do you feel, because I was having this debate with my boy, do you feel it's because of resale value, or do you genuinely think he has a future at the club? Because we could just be putting him on a deal to shut him for loan.
I think he's there because he's going to be that player that I think the injuries have messed him up, innit? I don't think it's tough. It's tough. Unless Matip's going to leave soon, unless they're waiting, I think he's going to stay. I think he's going to replace Matip, take his minutes.
That's what I was thinking. I don't think
he's going to leave. I think he's very content. Obviously, he's up there. He's got married with his missus and stuff, so he's content. I think he's content. He's got his new kid as well, so big up for that. We're going to obviously finish up soon and we go. Lads, can you answer my Gomez question quick? New contract haven't been signed. Are you worried? I'm not worried.
I thought it was destined to be signed, or is it still?
I think it's still in the air. I haven't heard that it's been signed because I've heard that they're preparing it. I'm not worried because I think he will sign. I think if he doesn't sign, it's more of him wanting to play more games. And unfortunately, if he wants to go play, regularly in the next 2-3 years, I don't think he's going to. I think Konate's ceiling's a bit higher than Gomez's, unfortunately, because of the injuries. And I think Klopp rates Konate a bit more, otherwise you don't bring him in. You don't bring him in because you do what I mean. And then I think if Virgil stays for another 4 years and Konate is going to come in, I can't see a space for Gomez. So man. So I don't know. Matip for me at the top, just to answer that question quickly. I think he's got another 3 years. I don't think he relies on athleticism a lot, and I think he's someone that could, if he's comfortable, he could go and just stay at the club and just be that experienced type of player. And I think he's not on high wages, which is a big factor because he was bought on a free as well. So I think even to sell him, we're always going to make profit on him. So I think the club, even if you make 7 mil on him in 3 years, I think it's better than nothing. Do you know what I mean? Even if it's
100%.
And just the last comment, just to finish off, obviously Jamrock saying, tell Gunali if Arsenal finished 5th after all this hype, we are revoking his key card from all LSC content creators.
You're going missing.
Listen, that key card he's got is crazy at the moment, but we'll make sure that obviously that will get revoked because it's unacceptable. The WAS has been talking, innit? So yeah, man. All right. Come to the end of the show. Big up for everyone in the chat. I don't know how many likes we've got right now. I'm literally going to have a look. And it is looking like 40 likes. 13.
Listen.
Crazy. 39 likes, sorry, but crazy. Can we get 40?
We can.
Someone gets to 40. Someone can, innit? Someone can. But you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. And 39 likes for the first. Listen, crazy.
That's amazing. That's amazing, bro. That's amazing.
Before we head down, I'm just going to answer this quickly. What's your top 4 as it stands? I think Spurs, cheeky fur, they're doing decent.
I'll say, you do yours first.
You go first. I'll end it, man.
I honestly believe this, and this I don't want to sound like a top red or whatnot. If we get a goal scoring midfielder, I do believe we win the league. I do believe that. I think we're just one player away. Honestly, people might disagree, but as it stands, we don't have that midfielder. So City, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea.
Yeah, I think City, Liverpool. Spurs are too Spursy for me, man.
But this, even with the manager, a manager, same thing you're saying about Arteta, it's a big factor, bro. And I'm hearing that double. I don't really rate Richarlison, but Richarlison and Gordon, have you heard? They're in for a swoop.
No, Lampard. Listen, Lampard is the biggest snake. That's the biggest inside job. I can't believe Everton have suffered 2 inside jobs with Benitez going in and ruining them to the point that they are, and now Lampard's coming in and taking off the 2 players that actually got them survival. Make no qualms about it.
But apparently they're going through something financially, though. That's because they ain't even signed anyone yet.
No, but it doesn't matter. Even if that's the case, they cannot go to Chelsea, though. Unless they get someone in return, like Kennedy or someone that they could...
No, not Chelsea, bro. Spurs.
No, but Chelsea are trying to... I know, but Spurs are trying to, but Chelsea are trying to package it as well.
Swear. I didn't see that.
That's what I'm trying to say. I've seen it. But yeah, Spurs are trying to do it. That's crazy. You know, Richarlison is a good... Like, I know he's an idiot, but...
Do you rate him? Honestly, do you rate him?
I don't rate him as a person, innit? For many reasons, innit? For many reasons. But I don't rate him. But, and I know some people in the chat will be laughing. Man that know me, they know why I don't rate him. But as a player, I like his tenacity. He's got that bite to him. I like the fact that he keeps working. I like the fact he didn't, when they were going through the relegation thing, he's the one that stood up, innit? He didn't quit. He went and worked hard. He was still trying to, you got to give players like that, you got to give them props, because look, you saw what happened with James Rodriguez when he's gone and all these type of players, innit? Like you've seen it. So yeah, I give him his props. I think if they get that, it's crazy. I think if Spurs get Richarlison, I think that is crazy, because I can see them playing 2 up, even a 3 up top with Richarlison, Son and Kane, and then in the 10 they'll have Kulusevski.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
I think they could see that, and then they'll have a pivot of Højbjerg
and then Basuma
or Bentancur, depending on how they want to play.
They could actually play so many systems, and I don't think it'll look out of place.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But yeah, man. We're gonna end the stream here. Before we head out, Roms, appreciate obviously you joining me on the stream as well.
Anytime, bro. If I'm free, you know me, bro.
Yeah, let people know where they can obviously find you and stuff. Because I saw some people stating in, whoa. Listen, I don't know if this is that confirmed than that, but listen, I want someone in it. So if we pop off and we sign in, I'll be back on here. I'll be back on here in a couple of hours, innit? Because then you can confirm for a short one.
Listen, it'll make sense, because just to eradicate the myth, he's not injury prone. He had, out of the last 5 seasons, he had 1 big injury. Me and you know injury, Jerry. Had an ACL, which kept him out for ages. But last season, Jerry, in 31 appearances, La Liga games, he got 10 goals. So
yeah,
he's a goal scorer. And most of his highlight reel is worldies with his left foot outside of the box. That's all I'm going to say about Asensio.
Yeah, we'll leave it there, innit? But cool, where can a man fight you? Because I know. I don't know if it was JT or someone else, but they mentioned saying if LFC can do if we can do a collab with Saint LFC TV, and I don't think
have you been on Saints?
I've been on Saints, but look, would you do a collab with Saint LFC, top LFC channel?
Listen, you're gonna see Jerry on Saint LFC TV all the time. We all speak of scenes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
we've got our group chats and stuff. And listen, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna speak to Saint, but Roms, we're gonna do a thing where we do like an hour on my channel and then an hour on Saint. So we're gonna do an automatic switch over where we're gonna do
literally
like 2 things. So don't worry, we'll pattern up. We'll speak to Saint and that, and
you'll find me. You'll mainly find me Saint. I'm Saint LFC co-host. A lot of people tell me this, JT, but there's reasons why I haven't and whatnot. But I'm happy, you know, being a co-host and whatnot. But I appreciate it, JT. But you'll find me co-host Saint LFC TV. You'll find me here and there on Big Six Bands, mainly for the Liverpool shows, because Big Six Bands is all Nunez Brethren's top 16. But you'll find me there mainly on Liverpool shows. And a regular here, I'm going to be cheeky and just say here and there. Chop it on Jerry.
There you go, man. I love it, man.
But
listen,
yeah, that's
everyone. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. I think we've hit like 39 likes, 40 likes probably by now, which is crazy numbers, especially for a sizes channel. So big up, everyone. Make sure, obviously, to like, subscribe, obviously share as well, and comment. And make sure, everyone, comment if any kind of analysis on players and stuff, any comparisons you want us to do, just let us know. We're going to obviously drop that in the comments. Make sure, obviously, to check me out. I'm going to be, obviously, live at 6:30 tomorrow on the Klopp Zone with the Klopp Zone Red Alert show. So happy to be a part of that. That's a real good one. Proper controversial as well. And obviously in the week, I'm going to be on the show here again. And we're going to be live on the Jerry James show with the tactics board. And we're going to be chatting up all tactics with man like G from Keeping It Like G, also on Clock Zone. So big up to everyone. Thank you so much. We're about to head out now. Make sure to like, subscribe again. Stay blessed. This is the Jerry James show and we're out, man. Peace, guys.